Yo, yo. Y'all can hear
Yo,
me,
yo, what's
right?
good,
What's
everybody?
good? What's
Okay,
good?
okay. I was just trying to make sure y'all can hear me properly. Just doing minor adjustments here.
I definitely
How we
should
doing?
upgrade the camera.
Yes, you should. You should. How about you put that $2 million camera that you recently bought on there?
The
To
who?
be honest with you, it's not you wouldn't get what looks like a streamer's visuals. You would get what looks like out of a movie. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying?
right.
Is that a
It's a
bad thing?
cinema camera. It has a very specific cinema lens. So,
Yeah.
Is that a
Tizo,
bad
I
thing
never
though?
showed you my camera.
No, I haven't seen whatever
I
this
bought a.
camera, y'all.
I've been wanting this camera for a few years, and I finally took the leap and bought it. The stuff that you get out of it looks straight out of a movie.
This man won the lottery, and the first thing he does was buy a camera. I'm lying. He didn't. He
I did
didn't win
not
the
win the
lottery.
Not
lottery.
gonna
Don't
lie, I'm not
ever
mad
listen
at
to it,
that.
man. I actually have the worst luck. Oh, let me put my
Yeah.
headphones on so you guys don't have to hear an echo.
All right. But anyways, welcome in, guys. Welcome to Gamer Actual, your weekly deep dive into biggest news in gaming. You can find us on all major podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, with a visual version of this podcast being available on youtube.com at Gamer Actual. This podcast is also a part of the KXI network. To learn more about the KXI network and all our offerings, check out the show notes. Now, for tonight's episode, we're talking about Expedition 33, Xbox price hikes, Lord have mercy, and GTA delays. Of course, we're going to be talking about this and a lot more in tonight's episode of Gamer Action. So let's get into it, actual gamers. I'm your host, Cash, and I got the homie Heartless. And with us tonight, we have a very special guest, the one and only Pizzo Plays. Fella, what's good?
What's good? What's good? It's good to be back, man.
Yeah. Yo, it's like, yo, you want to hear something crazy? I didn't really read the intro. The only thing I looked at for the intro was actually the show notes. That's crazy.
I will say, as a
Yeah.
musician,
Mhm.
you realize that is just how it goes. The more you do your
Mhm.
role, the more fluid it becomes.
Yep.
Over time, you'll stop. You'll never look at some point. You'll never look at it.
No, I won't. I feel like I'm still self-conscious, which is why I look at it, but I don't really need it.
That's crazy. If I offered you $100 right now to repeat it word for word without looking at it, I think you'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I would.
I don't got $100, so
There's money on the line. What are we talking about? Yeah,
that's
bro.
too funny.
Yeah, bro. But fellas, how we doing tonight? How y'all feeling?
I'm vibing. Excited.
Yeah,
How
I'm
about
Pizzo,
you?
the
chilling,
last
man.
Pizzo, the last time you were here was what, episode 50, I think?
Yeah,
Was
the 50th
yeah,
episode. Yeah. Yeah, I had a
yeah,
bomb ass time, man. You had a whole bunch of folks here, man.
yeah, bro. Shout out
All
to
throughout the
everybody,
history
bro.
of a gamer actual. I said, okay. Met a few new
Yeah,
people. It was a good vibe.
that's what's up. That's what's up. So Zoe, what have you been playing these days?
So I've been a little bit everywhere. I just finished Heavy Rain, which I'm super late on that, but it's pretty good. That's a pretty
Listen,
good story.
don't apologize for your backlog, okay? Because I got a
Yeah.
crazy one. I just showed the guys my backlog recently, and they're like, "Yo,
Yeah, I
something's wrong with you."
bro.
While we
I
talk about
saw
this, you
it.
should pull up the file cache while we
I
talk about
should.
this.
I should. I'm going to. I am actually going to. I have a crazy backlog.
Yeah, man. I'm seeing after like the third scroll, I'm like, holy shit.
It's crazy.
Oh, I showed it to you, Pizzo, all right?
Yeah, no, I
I
saw
can't.
it. I saw it. Yeah. Yeah,
Let's see.
man. But
Let me
a
see.
little bit of Heavy Rain, and I'm about to get back into Elden Ring, and the newest game I've been playing is Clair,
Obscure.
Obscure. Yeah,
Let's not talk about
Expedition.
that just yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off.
Oh yeah.
All right. So,
But good
if you guys
lord.
look at the total right here, and I'm still adding stuff.
436. This man's backlog is so long he has to have a legend for the colors.
I'm telling you, bro. It's
I
like,
don't know if I should be impressed or
Color-coded
disgusted.
index is so insane.
huh?
That's how far you have a color-coded index for how many games you have to catch up
No,
for.
it's deeper than
Yeah, bro.
that. It's automated. So what happens now is when he adds a game, he picks a color and then it adds it to the total tally.
Yeah.
He uses Excel like an accountant. I'm telling you, I don't know if I should be impressed or disgusted. I'm at a loss for words here.
Honestly, a little of both.
Look, all right. So, because if I add completed, all right. So it counts on how many games are incomplete, how many never played, and then how many are currently being played right now. Right now, I'm only playing Resident Evil because I need to finish that on stream. Where is it? So it's all the way down here. Resident Evil 4 remake. Once that's done, I can move it to the completed pile, and as you guys can tell, the completed pile just changed.
Nah.
Put it back
Something
in
ain't
our
right
play.
about this.
What?
Something ain't right about this. Something ain't right about this. You are a dweeb. I mean, I know we're on a podcast sitting around talking about games, but you are a
Listen,
dweeb.
next level. Everything I do, I take it to the next level, bro.
That's crazy.
And if you guys want to check it out, go check out the channel.
Man.
I gotta, bro. I gotta. But there's a lot of these that I've never played that I'm really looking forward to like get into, like Final Fantasy and a bunch of them. So I've never played like really commit to any Final Fantasy games. So I'm looking forward to playing those.
Yeah,
I have
speaking of
never
that,
none.
I probably got like a fifth of the way through Final Fantasy 16 and started playing something else. The combat is really cool, but that's probably as far as I go with that. If you're not fighting, I'm extremely bored. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I feel like I missed the window with a lot of the Final Fantasy games. I think that's what it was. I never owned those games back then.
Can
So
I be honest with you guys?
Yeah.
All right. I used to play Final Fantasy games as a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this. I played Final Fantasy X. It's hard to go back and play it, but I'm going to. But now that I've played it as a kid and I beat it with my brother and I know the story, if I never played it, I tell you that'd be a story that I feel like I would have missed out on in life. It's like one. Sometimes you just gotta get through the gameplay because you just want to know how the story goes. Hey, if you want to skip it all that and just go to YouTube and figure out how the stories go, by all means do that. But I feel like if I never got to play Final Fantasy X, I would have missed out on something that was very important to my life. So I recommend you go and play some of these damn games.
Yeah, I don't want to watch YouTube. I feel like that's a cop out. That's why I don't watch any of those videos. Any game
I don't
that
watch
I
any of
haven't
those videos either.
Yeah, any game that I have an interest in playing, I don't look at
I
the
try to get
videos
my
for it.
hands on it.
Yeah.
Yes. I watch like speedrun videos and whatnot, but anything that's gonna tell me the whole story, I don't watch those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still need to play Metroid Heartless, and you need to play Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
I'm never gonna play Metroid.
Persia,
Why?
Bro, please. What has to happen? What has to happen for you to play Metroid? Like what?
What's wrong with Metroid? Hold on.
You know what? I'm gonna answer this question. You want to know exactly what has to happen for me to play Metroid?
What?
All right.
What?
I need to get really rich this year, and then nuclear fallout needs to happen, and I can afford to live in a bunker underground. And then we're stuck there for about 70 years. And in that time, I've run out of all games to play. And I'm backlogging really, 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 really hard.
Wow.
And at some point, I'll get to Metroid. That's exactly what it would take.
Really, bro?
That's exactly what it would take.
Heartless, I got a question for you. Why do you hate women?
No, I love women. I love women. Listen, there's just... You know me, Cash. You know the kind of guy I am, the kind of gamer I am. I put 3,000 plus hours into Street Fighter. You know me, bro. Okay?
Right.
There's so many damn games out there. And beyond that, there's so many beautiful games out there, right?
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
The games that I am passionate about, the competitive ones, I put thousands of hours into. And then the games that I love with their stories, I play them on the side. But I rarely ever get time to do that. There's no chance for me to get back to... I still got to beat the Cyberpunks of this world. Or like, there's so many games out there, even just in the last 3 years that have come out.
But I'm talking about newer Metroid games, though.
What's up, Pizzo?
I mean, I get the Metroid stuff. Like, I would never have to be forced to a Fallout situation to have to play Metroid. But you said you haven't beat Cyberpunk?
Nah, I think I would say about 40% of the way through the main story. And I still have the DLC. And same thing about God of War. I still have to defeat God of War, and then Ragnarok. There's so many games I have to beat.
Whoa, my God.
Spider-Man, I still have to defeat Spider-Man 1,
So
then the Miles Morales game, then Spider-Man 2.
You might need to hit up Cash Crow and have him put a list together because it sounds like you have a list your damn self.
You think Cash's backlog is bad? I will say he's got more games on it, but my backlog, I think, is filled with more games that make you say, how the hell did you miss this game?
Yeah, because Heartless is just getting back into gaming.
Yeah, Cash knows the story. It's because I had a restaurant for 10 years. I literally dedicated 10 years of my life to me and my family running this restaurant. Open to close. Boom, boom, boom.
My excuse was I was a teacher for 8 years. So how about
that's bullshit.
How about that, berries and cherries?
That's bullshit.
Why? Why can't I use that? You can use the restaurant.
Nah, because the restaurant, it really takes your whole day away. You work 12 hours and you drive.
What do you think teaching does?
I just feel like you could at some point say, fuck them kids. Start slapping bees on everyone's homework and, hit the games.
Bro. Nah, bro. Trust me. The work-life balance was crazy back then, man. Crazy.
Good Lord. Wait, what is this?
It's Hitbox.
That's my leverless controller for Street Fighter. I'm telling you, we take our game serious here.
Speaking of Street Fighter,
holy.
Yeah. Speaking of Street Fighter, we got a character reveal this week, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
About 2 weeks ago.
Honestly, she might be the coolest character, I would say, to be DLC since Rashid or Aki. Because if you think about it, all the DLCs, for the most part, play like a Shoto. You got Akuma. Honestly, even without the DLCs, there's just so many Shotos in this game. To see a character that doesn't play like that, I think is really interesting, and I'm excited. I feel like I'm gonna want to play her for some reason.
So she was my main in Street Fighter Third Strike. I had her, and I used Ibuki. So I'm very excited for Elena. I'm gonna be honest.
You played Third Strike?
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna get Ibuki anytime soon. I think that's kind of why I take.
We don't want Ibuki
so much. I think that's why I take to Kimberly so much, though, because Kimberly kind of has some of Ibuki's framework with Guy, so it's like a fusion of Guy and Ibuki.
She is Ibuki with the exaggerated swagger of a young black teen.
Hilarious. The meme that will never die.
Yeah, honestly.
No, but it's facts, though. That's what Kimberly feels like, though. I'm not gonna lie. She feels like Ibuki, but she has some of like Guy's mechanics. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Yeah. So
I have
is
no
Elena.
opinion on this. I play actual fighting games like Mortal Kombat 1. So.
Don't you better not. You better not. You better not.
At this point, I don't know if we're harming the legitimacy of our show having this man on here saying that. Yo, isn't Mortal Kombat like the only game to get removed from Evo after the first year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Talking about real fighting games.
I was joking, man. I knew that would light a fire.
Set me off, man. That hurt my heart somewhere.
I gotta say though, I don't like this skin. I don't like the
this one's skin. Trash. So they got my money. They got my money because they got that perfect.
Bro.
Chat, wait till you guys see this. Yo, look at this. Her gameplay is sick. Bro,
the fact that she can avoid freaking projectiles.
Watch what she does to Akuma here. Watch what she does. She's gonna do something to Akuma here. That's really cool.
She is nice, bro. Look at that, bro.
That's an overhead too.
Look at that. She's gonna be insane, bro.
She is, but not with this skin. Not with this skin.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Not even a little bit.
Give us this.
Look at that. Well,
this looks perfect.
We gotta pause this for a second. She is beautiful here, bro.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is
giving me like Storm vibes, bro. Nope.
Look at this. That's what I was talking about, bro.
That was insane.
That's a mix-up situation right there. She can either block, do nothing, be safe, or she can like probably
throw. That was a cross-up. Hold up. You saw that?
Yep, switch sides.
That
That's a side switch right there.
that's a side switch was crazy. My goodness.
That's a cross up right there.
Nah, B. Elena, hurry up.
Yo, I'm saying, bro. I'm actually saying I might have to learn her. I think I'm going to. I think
Oh
I'm
my
absolutely going
goodness. You know, the only problem I have right now is we're gonna
What?
see a shit ton of Elena in ranked.
to. I don't care. As there should be. We already see a shit ton of Mai.
And Akuma.
Anything that disperses, yeah, exactly. Anything that disperses, the more characters, the better off we'll be no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I hate that it's gonna get to a point where there's gonna be like 40 characters in this game, and then you're gonna have to learn how
I
to
don't
lab
mind
each
it.
one of them after
I
every
don't
patch.
mind.
You
I
see
don't
that?
mind.
Did you see that?
The health?
She said healing.
Yeah. Because she has a healing ability in this.
Yeah, that's her level 2, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a
so?
level 2. Yeah, she has a variation of her level 2 where if you do it a certain way, she goes for healing instead of damage at the end of it.
Oh.
Yes. Well, that means though that she doesn't just get neutral healing. She can't just throw you and then heal herself.
Yeah, she
She
has
has
to do
to
something.
land
yeah.
She has to land a level 2 super. Yes.
So you have to do it. You're gonna have to do a setup for it. You can't just do a raw heal.
Setup or not, you have to land the super. Like if that
Right.
super gets blocked, you don't get healing.
You don't
just
get
receive
healing.
the healing bullet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
What's up?
Now that we are a few years in to the fighting game renaissance that happened,
That's true.
how do you think we're not even going to include Mortal Kombat, but between like Tekken and Street Fighter, which game has kept up the maintenance of their game better? That's balancing, that's new characters, new content, that's all of the different factors that go into a really good fighting game. Between Street Fighter and Tekken, which one of these two has done a better job at that?
I'm personally
biased.
I'm going to say Street Fighter, but that's just because I don't really.
You want me to take a stab at this question, Cash? Because this is a great question. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When you analyze what makes a fighting game, it's a lot different than what makes another game, or another genre. Like for instance, we don't even care about things like story modes, right?
Mhm.
It's very like the only fighting game that most people care about the story mode. I would say most people is Mortal Kombat, and it's right. And then people care about the Tekken story mode. But anyways, when you go look at the package, the overall package of what makes a fighting game good, obviously you want good network, good netcode. That's super important, right?
Nice.
You want a diverse cast of characters, and you want, good mechanics. And then you want a good release schedule for when they release new content, right? And then the kind of content that they release is important. Like for instance, Tekken release, I believe, 6 characters a year as opposed to Street Fighter releasing 4 characters a year. That's something that gave Tekken the edge when it came to their, their care packages for their communities. I would say up until the last few months where these latest Tekken patches ruined the game, right? I would say Tekken was handling their community better. But then apparently they ruined the game. Don't ask me.
Okay,
ask the people.
I'm like, I haven't been as tapped. That's part of the reason why I asked y'all, because y'all are more tapped into the fighting game community than I am.
Street Fighter, everything that Street Fighter puts out is tremendous quality, but people are not happy with the rate at which they put stuff out. Like people are like, yo, you guys have Battle Hub custom costumes for my avatar, but we don't got skins for these characters. Like, what are you guys doing?
Everybody wants like a skin 3 or a skin 4.
Exactly. And they're like, we don't got this shit. So people have not been happy with the overall release schedule of Street Fighter, but everything they put out is super good quality. So I feel like at this junction, at this point in the fighting game renaissance, Street Fighter has Tekken beat, because Tekken, apparently their latest patches have put out some belligerent gameplay. Yeah. So people are not happy with this state of Tekken. Pros have literally switched to Street Fighter. Street Fighter revolves their releases around the casual scene. What's good, Danny? Welcome in, Danny. We got Danny in the chat. So that was from somebody in the chat. Now my thing is with Street Fighter is I do have this gripe about Street Fighter where one of their core mechanics at this point in Street Fighter's life is you can put people. Yeah, I mean, not even Drive Rush. Drive Rush is okay. If you pay attention, you can check it, but you can put people in scenarios where they're better off taking 3 throws in a row, and then they get thrown 3 times in a row, and now it's really tough because if they make one bad decision, they die,
Right.
and then they just end up sitting there getting thrown 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and I think it's not fun. I've done it to people. It's happened to me. I've done it to people, and I've seen them just completely give up and say, whatever, you want to throw me till it's over, you can have this round. If this is how you want to play this round, you can have it. And I've done that to people too, where I noticed that, oh, you got your throw looping me? Okay, and you can just have this round. If you want to throw me 8 times in a row for this round, by all means, you can just have this round. I've done that. So I don't think that's a good gameplay mechanic. I think that's not healthy overall but with that being said, Street Fighter is probably the most balanced package for a fighting game that we have. It probably is. And I think they're doing the best out of I think Capcom is doing the best out of every company that's running a fighting game right now. I will say, what I have not been playing Street Fighter this week. I've been playing Fatal Fury. That is nice and fresh. And for all the people who say you don't like the overly offensive mechanics and all these new fighting games, I suggest you play Fatal Fury. There has not been a situation which I said to myself, oh, there's nothing I could have done there, because there's always something you could do in Fatal Fury. I noticed.
Is it me, or it feels like there's not much fanfare for Fatal Fury?
Fatal Fury has this problem where they released Cristiano Ronaldo in the game. And Fatal Fury is connected to the Saudi royal family or something. Apparently, they own SNK, or they own stock in SNK. And, Cristiano Ronaldo, he plays, I believe,
for
in
the Saudis,
the Middle East.
I think.
Yeah, he plays for the Saudis, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the name of the team, so I don't want, But that's obviously how he got in the game, Right. And I think some people have a gripe with that, like some communities. And I don't know too much about that, but I think that's what I'm seeing. I also noticed
96% of SNK. Is that true? We have to corroborate that. We have to double check that.
I also noticed
it's crazy.
There was immediate backlash for the Salvatore Ganacci character. They released a DJ in Fatal Fury. He's a real life person. He's a DJ, but people have grown to love him as a character. And apparently as a person. So I don't know. I do not know. I just know that the game is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Which, by the way, chat, you should probably check it out. It is a full price game, but guess what? You get the
right.
It's basically their game, then.
Yeah, it is basically the game. Listen, it's a full price game. It's $60, but you get the first season pass included. So that's 6 characters you get included. The first year's worth of characters.
Pretty good.
Cash is still in amazement over the 96%.
Because I didn't know they own SNK outright. 96%. That it just came up, that big figure. 96.18%.
Yes, it is.
Damn, bro. That's crazy, bro. It's a Japanese developer, though.
Yeah, the Saudi royal family owns it through another company. So they own a company that owns SNK. They own 96% of a company that owns SNK.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Anywho, that's insane. So that's why I feel like it has a bunch of negative press surrounding the game currently, but I don't know if that's going to change at any point.
$1.5 million prize for the Fatal Fury Cup. I don't know.
But I still don't think that changes anything, though, because and I'm on Twitter, I really hear people talk about that shit at all. Like,
are you saying you rarely or you really?
Rarely. I don't.
You rarely hear people talking about Fatal Fury.
Not Fatal Fury, yes, but even that $1 million tournament that you're talking about is like almost don't give a shit. They don't care. You know what I mean?
I mean, if that were to be true, then I would say that the majority of people know they have no chance of winning it, and that explains why not many people are talking about
I
it.
mean, naturally, mainly the top players are gonna go. Like the top guys are gonna go because they want
Shout
that
High is
money.
gonna win it. Mark my words. What's today? May 4th. May the 4th be with me on this one. Shout High is gonna win the $1.5 million.
Okay, you think so?
Bro, he's an amazing fighting game player. He's one of the best Street Fighter players on the planet. He went to Evo. He didn't win Evo, obviously. Punk won it, and Big Bird came in second place. But he won the Under Night Evo, and I don't even think he plays it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen him play it. But don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Don't quote me on anything I say. I just be talking on my ass. So, chat, let me know. Let me know.
All right, let's switch things up a little bit. So, a few games came out recently, but one game in particular that's kind of making its rounds right now is blowing up, and that's Sandfall Interactive's debut title, which is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, right? Pizzo, I know you said you've been playing the game. I want to hear your thoughts on the game so far. But before we get into that, the game in 3 days, the game sold over 1 million copies, bro. That is insane. So to me personally, what I think is this game is spitting in the face of the industry. It's proving to us right now that you don't have to need the biggest budget to make a phenomenal game, because everybody that plays this game is singing its praises right now. Every single person. Right now, I think it's the highest rated game of the year so far. The highest rated game of the year so far.
Yeah.
So that's insane to me.
Who picked that game in our draft?
I think Jay picked it.
I think so.
Yeah, so Jay picked it. 30
devs.
Yes, and then they had
How long did it take them to build it?
The game started development in 2020.
So this is going
devs.
to is this gonna have any kind of reflection? We'll get into this later, but is this gonna have any kind of reflection on the news from Rockstar? Like,
I don't know, but I feel like this is going to cause a ripple effect in the industry. Hear me out, and here's why. One, this game had a pre-release sale, so you could have gotten the game for $40, bro, before the game came out.
Yeah.
And then they had a pre-release sale, which you could get the game for $40 after the game came out, bro. Right?
Did you just say the same thing twice, or am I tripping?
No, pre-release and post-release.
So
right?
you could have got the game for $40 before and after the game came out.
Exactly. And the game still sold over 1 million copies.
Well,
never mind
naturally, the cheaper the product, the more people will buy it.
Hold up, though. Never mind the fact that it's also free on Game Pass day one.
Yeah, true. That is true.
And still broke records. That's insane. It's an indie game, guys, by the way. This is also an indie game with breathtaking graphics.
I was actually going to say that too. That game looks amazing.
You could only hope that the rest of the industry looks at this and says, "What the hell is my dev team doing?"
They're going to take they're going to take the worst lessons from this game. I promise you. They're going to take the worst lessons. They're going to just take the mechanics and just the graphics. That's it. They don't give a shit about anything else.
All they're going to say is, "Oh, you enjoyed this game and it was $40?
Right.
Imagine what we can do when we charge you $70, $80. It's gotta be better,
crazy.
Right?
That's crazy.
Which we're gonna be touching on later on in the show. But Pizzo, what are your thoughts about Expedition 33?
So, like we were saying, man, the game, that was one of the first things that I noticed was the game was beautiful. The environment, facial animations, character designs. I mean, chef's kiss. They did their thing. The only thing, before I touch on the bad thing, another thing that I like, I'm not a fan of turn-based combat. Like,
me either.
Baldur's Gate 3 got away with it because there was like a bajillion different ways you can go into a situation and, come out on top or fuck up. Either way. But what this game is introducing is, if I'm not mistaken, right, is you can actually dodge and parry a lot
In
of
real
these
time.
attacks in
In
real
real
time.
time.
In real
Yep.
time.
Which is crazy.
And it's so simple. Like it's like I wonder why people didn't think to add this at any point beforehand. You know, it's something really simple, but it definitely makes a difference. You actually feel like it's not like, okay, well, you know, I ran out of hit points, so I can't really do shit this round. They're gonna tear my ass up, so I just gotta skip my
Take
turn
it.
and sit and watch. Yeah, you can actually do something about it.
You can turn the tide of the game.
You can counter. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. So I really do
just wait for
appreciate
the no hit runs. Just wait for the no hit runs.
it. Yeah, they are coming. They are coming.
They are coming.
The only thing that I am like my hang up with these types of games is how dialogue heavy it is. I get really bored whenever I have to go and talk to this person and talk to that person, and like it's a bunch of different dialogue boxes, but it's like them saying and then it's like a whole paragraph, and then you go to the next one is and you have to read a whole bunch of. It's like I'm bored.
So it's like old school RPG where you would
yeah. You know, and I'm it's 30 devs. It's an indie title. I get it, right? You know, it's not much enough money to just chef out for little bitty ass lines, right? But
I figured it out. I figured out the disconnect.
What?
Games like this, turn-based games, these kind of RPGs, they are interactive novels.
Right.
That is what they are.
Okay.
At the heart. A game like God of War, that is an interactive movie.
Right.
Yeah.
These are interactive novels.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
If you're not into that, which I feel for sure, then you're just not into that. Some people eat that shit up though.
Yeah,
they do. They do.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of turn-based games that I would actually like play to this day. Like Chrono Trigger is one of them. I'm not a big fan of turn-based RPGs, but Chrono Trigger is just something about Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana and all those kind of games.
I'm sure there's only a handful of books you can read too.
Harry Potter being one of them. So it is. Pizzo, my bad. I cut you off.
No, you're fine. It was to serve the conversation, man. So like I said, I pretty much got that's quite literally my only gripe, only because like I'm maybe 10% into the game. I haven't really gotten to know the cast of characters beyond like maybe three people, and I'm assuming that there's going to be more. I have like 2 people on my squad right now, but yeah, I'm sure it'll change, like as far as like the writing is concerned, and you know, how different characters are introduced or taken away or whatever the case may be, right? So
I heard the writing's phenomenal.
Yeah, as for right now, writing is decent. Gameplay, I'm more on the side of liking it, especially for like it's good for a turn-based game. I'll say that it's good for a turn-based game. And graphics are amazing. So
yeah. Not only that, they have a stellar fucking cast here, bro. Andy Serkis.
Yes, and the fucking dude from
Daredevil, Charlie Cox is here. He's the main guy. He's the main character.
Andy looks like Edward Cullen.
Yeah, bro. They have an insane like voice talent on this game. I don't know how they landed that, but man, for an indie game, bro.
That was a huge land. Andy Serkis alone is already a huge land, but good God.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So I'm looking forward to get into the game.
One thing I'm actually surprised about with this game. Do you know the last game that this game director made?
I don't remember. I looked.
Isn't this their debut game?
No, this is the studio's debut game.
Yes,
but they're
ex
Ubisoft. They're ex Ubisoft devs.
Okay. What's
so the last game the director made was Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I was not expecting something like Clair Obscur.
The juxtaposition there.
From somebody that was, because Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I got bored after about 2 days. I'm not gonna lie. John Bernthal was probably like the only reason I kept going, because I kind of liked him as a villain in the story. But aside from that, I got bored out of my mind with that game. And I don't know if that was more so due to Ubisoft having their
that's what I was about to say. It begs the question, right? It begs the question, like how much creativity are these like developers allowed to express?
Imagine a record label telling the artist what kind of music they have to make and how it should that would
No,
not make sense to me.
but that's
And
kind of what it feels like with
I'm
Ubisoft
sure it
and
is
these
what it's
guys.
like. And that's why
Because
we get a whole bunch of products we don't like and we
Yeah.
get bored of, and we don't like what we're the messages we're getting sent and this and that. And there's so many things.
yeah, because think about it. Like most studios nowadays, especially AAA studios, most of their games are like regurgitated games. Like we have how many friggin' Ghost Recons do we have? How many Assassin's Creed do we
Yeah.
have? How many of these games do we have? Every year, it's like clockwork. We get the same kind of games, and they will do like minimal improvements or minimal like
Because
features that
majority
they add to
holders
the game.
make the decisions. The
Exactly.
stakeholders make the
Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah.
And these
That's true.
guys took the initiative to leave and create their own studio and just sent a big fuck you to the industry.
I just want to point out that this will
That's essentially what they
never change. And I want you to
No.
understand something. What we get is a byproduct of corporate shareholders, the people who have the most shares, the board, the people sitting down and wanting and willfully going for proven things that have already worked. They go where the money is proven to go. That means less risk year after year, less risk, less creativity, less originality. You're going to see it all across the board. When stakeholders get involved in the decision making for how these games get developed, you are going to always see the path that has been proven before, which means less risk. You're always going to have that.
Which is why indie devs are the most creatives in the industry.
Yeah.
That's
the reason why.
It's a byproduct of this pattern. Directly.
Yeah, because they're risk takers. They're risk takers. They're willing to take the risk. Right?
They
and
have
they usually
to take a risk.
Exactly.
If they don't take a risk, they don't stand out.
Yes.
No, they don't.
That's another byproduct. That whole what we're seeing and why we're seeing indie devs putting out the products that we're seeing, the Pal Worlds of this world and the stuff like this, right, is because the byproducts of these facts, you know?
Right. That's true. That's true. But I gotta commend them, bro. All right, so you're Heartless. Would you give this game a shot?
But if I had unlimited money, absolutely. It's one of those games that looks beautiful. I have to say, going back to the whole interactive movie, interactive novel type deal, that's what I like about AAA games. They look like movies. You know what I'm saying? They have that level of, and I do enjoy that. I'm not going to shell out my money just because a game has that. If I had unlimited money, I would absolutely play this game.
Okay, that's why you should invest in Game Pass. I told you that already, but you don't want to listen because you would have been able to play the game. Game Pass is like $17, Heartless.
So I can drop $17 right now and play that game right now.
Yes, you can.
Nah, see, it's not too late.
This is what I'm saying, and then you have access to a bunch of other games on Game Pass.
That's what I'm saying, yo, put the GoFundMe in the chat. Heartless's Game Pass subscription.
For $17 is so crazy,
bro. I said 14 days for $1. Really? You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yo, that means for $1, I can get the game and beat it.
Pretty much.
For $1.
Yeah. Because I think you can you can actually get a trial. Oh, I can invite you. If I invite you, I think you get a month for free.
Oh, I know they were doing that a few years ago. I don't know if they're still doing that.
I did it recently.
They are? Okay.
I'm gonna try and open it right
that's
now.
something to look into.
Yeah. If I can, Heartless, you're gonna try it out.
All right. You got me. You
need to, man.
I feel like turn-based games, they have a higher element of strategy than the interactive movie. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like playing a God of War on God mode does not like require some level of strategy, or playing like even a shooter game, doesn't require some level of strategy. It all requires strategy, but I think that turn-based games are strategy intensive. Like you said, you can go into, who knows, this parry mechanic. Some people might just break the game with it and totally make the game entirely like because you don't have to worry about any type of strategy because you can just parry everything.
Right.
So I don't know. I have to actually play it for myself, see how tight the timing is, see what kind of level of skill it takes to execute before I start judging. Either way, the game looks beautiful. And I recommend you guys definitely get that $1 Xbox Game Pass and beat the game within 2 weeks type level deal. I recommend you guys do that for sure. I'm all about saving money for everybody. I'm not worried about how much money Bill Gates got over at Microsoft.
Invite friends. Oh, I can. Here we go. I'm gonna invite you. Said invite friends.
We have a podcast to run, okay?
I know, but I it's quick. It's quick and easy. I did it. Okay. All right. But yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to hopping into this game. I only booted up the game just to see what it looked like. I never got to play it yet. So I think eventually, and probably tomorrow, I probably like really like dive into the game and kind of get my own like experience with the game. But so far, I like what I've been hearing so far. But let me double check how much. What's the rating right now? Clair,
Like a
Obscur.
96.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way people talk about it, you know me, throwing my
Metacritic.
guesses out there.
Metacritic. It's actually sitting at 92%. That's the highest rated game for the year, bro.
That's crazy.
Highest rated game for the year. That's what I'm saying. And universal acclaim from both critics and fans alike. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, bro. Fans give it 9.7.
I'm looking at the game draft.
Mm-hmm.
I got no chance of winning this shit.
Oh, damn.
Speaking of game draft, another game that was on that game draft got delayed, which is GTA 6, which was one of my picks. That game has been delayed until 2026, which is a freaking bummer. Whatever, Harley, shut up. You know what? I kind of expected it though. I'm gonna be honest, because they weren't really like talking about the game at all. We weren't really getting much outside of the trailer. There was no new information that was coming. Like, when should we expect the game? Nothing. It was just nothing. No dialogue surrounding it whatsoever.
So, this goes back to what I asked earlier with Clair Obscur having a dev team of 30 people and putting out a game that's massively successful. Does this kind of reflect on, like, then you hear the news from Rockstar, like, yo, we're delaying our game another year. I see somebody post saying that they were like 17 when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out and now they're 31 years old or something like that.
I mean, when Grand Theft 5 came out, I was about 18. No, I was about 18 when Grand Theft came out.
I was into my first year of college.
It came out in 2013,
19.
so it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
It's been 12 years. So, like, Clair Obscur releases a game, 5-year dev time, only 30 devs. Like, what are some of these other companies doing? Like, when you see companies like, what was the name of the company that released Clair Obscur? Sandfall.
Sandfall Interactive, yeah.
Sandfall Interactive. When a company like Sandfall Interactive does this, does it make you look at the rest of the gaming industry and you'd be like, yo, guys, what is going on?
Personally, you want to hear my take about this whole GTA shit? I feel like Rockstar is nervous as fuck because they don't know how to basically what would you say, outperform GTA 5 because they did so much in that game. So they want to make sure they have like a strong fucking product once it drops.
I have another theory.
What's that?
And maybe Pinksy can help. Maybe they just want to wait until they have full level of comfortability releasing a game for $100. Maybe they want the market to sit and experience the Nintendo release and see that, and kind of ease themselves into games that are $70, $80. And then they want to have that going on for a little bit. And then they want to be like, hey guys, GTA 6 2026, $99.99. And they're going to tell you you have access to this online something, and you're going to be like, oh, at least we get this with the package. And
right, they're going to have to drop GTA Online too when they do that shit. If they're going to do that, I promise you, bro, it's not going to go over well because none of those things. GTA Online is not launching. It's not like they're changing GTA Online when GTA 6 drops. You know what I mean? We're not getting new content for GTA Online. I haven't heard anything about GTA Online, like a new GTA Online coming. People are just assuming
Um,
that that's what's gonna happen now, right? Am I wrong to say that?
People
Have
are
we
assuming
heard
that
anything?
we're gonna get a new GTA Online,
I haven't heard anything about that. Have you?
bro.
so
If we don't get a GTA Online, what the hell are we waiting for?
I think they're gonna wait for the online because right now GTA 5 still makes them a
Shit
shit
ton
ton
of
of
money.
money. A shit ton of money. And think about it. I can't really speak to like the Xbox end of things, but this is going to be on console at first,
Mhm.
and half of the user base, I believe, was still on PlayStation 4. And if this is going to be current gen only, that's limiting the amount of money that they're going to be able to make because they're going to have to sell to the PS5 crowd. So they still, I think they want to keep GTA 5 online for as long as they can,
Mhm.
just so that they can have
This is wild to me.
one time for GTA 6, they can polish whatever they're going to. I mean, they have a solid foundation with GTA 5. I don't know what you could add aside from like
A map, a new
shit,
map.
like
Bro, what?
having to eat and work out and shit, and you know what I
I'm
mean?
confused. I'm confused.
Well,
GTA 6, you guys are not expecting it to have a day one online? Like,
no, it won't. I
No,
don't think it
no,
will.
no, 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 no.
I don't
I
think it
think
will.
because one,
Clutch pearls.
whenever the game launches, they're going to be under scrutiny if anything is wrong with the game.
Mhm.
People have been waiting, like we said, for 12 years, even though they may have only been like primarily developing the game, like all hands on deck developing the game, maybe like earliest, because I think Red Dead 2 came out 2018, something like that. So I would say like 2019, maybe 2020. And this is a Rockstar game, and they're going to charge. And I hate to say it, but they're probably going to charge about $100 or so. And maybe it just, GTA Online is just going to be something free that comes along with it, because I think that was what they did for GTA 5 as well.
That's what they did. Yeah.
Right. So I think they're going to make sure that, the world works in single player. That way, once they have everything like situated with that, then they can figure out, okay, we're going to have X amount of people on a server. We need to make sure that the servers don't shit themselves when everybody plays. We want people to be able to do this heist or this shit or that shit or whatever the case may be. But if GTA 5 was a broken piece of shit whenever it launched, it would have affected the long term as well,
Uh,
because people would have
uh,
looked back and be like, I mean, it wasn't always like this, but GTA 5 was solid on launch aside from like
no, they
pros
had
being
issues
online.
online. No, they had
It did?
issues online. The online portion of GTA
Yeah.
for days you couldn't sign on for. I remember that shit vividly
Yeah.
Was
because
that because everybody was trying to sign in at once, or
I
that was
think I think
because
I that might have been a factor, but yeah, you had the issues too. I remember that vividly because I didn't give a fuck about the
oh,
story of GTA 5.
oh
We
shit.
all got excited for online. I was like, yo, we're all going
Mhm.
online day one and nothing.
Well,
It was just we were off for like 5 days. I think it was
yeah.
about 5. I think he was down for like 5 days.
I have to say,
Mhm.
at this point, we've been waiting for GTA 6 so long that the in-game currency better be like real life crypto. I better be able to cash out.
Oh
They're
Lord,
making
don't
us
give them
wait so
ideas,
far.
man.
They're
I
making us
mean,
wait so long that at this point the game's gonna be like in the future.
bro,
I
it's
am.
crazy. When GTA 5 came out, I couldn't legally drink.
Facts. Me either.
And now
Me
I'm a
either.
parent. I have 2 children and I'm married, bro.
And they're almost old enough to play the damn game. Depends who raised you, but
Bro, bro, bro.
That's
And now it's
insane.
coming out next year. They pushed it back
Yeah.
for another year. That's crazy, bro. But
Yeah.
that's not even a crazy part. It's the fact that GTA 5 is still a popular game that is currently still being played, bro.
And that's the main reason they're not in a rush. Now I read online, they were saying, like, people were saying, and it's this, take it with a grain of salt, right? People were saying that even when they were doing like investor calls and stuff like that, and the dude that's in charge, I can't think of his name right now, but the guy heading up everything was like, oh yeah, we're gonna meet the Q3 or Q4, whatever it was, by the end of this year. They were sitting there listening to it like, how is this going to happen? Like, they wanted to avoid crunch, and if they had to meet that, deadline, by the end of the year, they would have ended up crunching.
I think
Those
that's
are
they're
all
trying to
what you
avoid.
read too. It's funny you say that because I've read what you read, and I think hold on. I have it somewhere here. I have the article.
Jason Schreier did actually say he didn't expect it. The insiders of Rocksteady were
Yes,
saying they didn't
exactly.
think it was a real window.
Yeah,
That's the article I have right here.
Yeah, they didn't think it was a real 2025 wasn't a real window for them. They just throw something out there for people.
But probably for investors, to be honest with you, just to keep them happy.
But isn't their stocks dropping? I feel like their stocks are dropping. No, am I wrong? I feel like I read that somewhere.
I haven't checked. I haven't checked.
I feel like upon release of GTA 6, they have to have like some kind of incentive program to cash out everything you got in GTA 5 and like for like GTA 6 online. Like, how are they going to get people off of GTA 5? Because you guys bring up a good point. How are they going to get people off of GTA 5 online? People have built entire lifestyles on that.
Yeah, their stocks did fall. So it says Take-Two Interactive, the parent company for Rockstar, experienced a stock drop after they announced that Grand Theft Auto would be delayed. They experienced a drop in stock.
Yeah,
surprise.
Some people said I'll take my losses and just have my money rather than wait on a game release that's not happening this year.
Yeah, because
people they want to buy early. They want to buy early, and then when the game releases, they get their money, right? But then when they find out the game has been delayed, they're like, okay, now wasn't the time to buy. I'd rather have my money back. So they take whatever loss they take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know how they're gonna get people to actually commit. And I think so. Okay, this is just a far off theory, right? You know how these GTA games get super parody on like the political state and this, that, and the third. Part of me thinks, because there was an article like a long time ago where I think the game director said, "I'm so glad we're not going to have to release a GTA under a Trump administration."
So you think they pushed it back because of that?
But not just because of that. Not just because of that, but Trump is trying to get people that do anything that criticize him or in his administration. They want to be in a position where they can get people locked up, sent to X, Y, and Z if you have anything to say about what they're doing. I'm assuming that might extend to the video game series. I don't know. Like I said, this is just a off the wall theory. Do y'all think that this had anything to do, like taking out jokes?
They'd still be in the Trump administration.
Yeah, no matter what.
In the Trump administration.
Yeah. So I don't think that's what that was, but I feel like it's more to what Heartless was saying. I think they're trying to waiting out and see how the industry reacts to price hikes in games.
Maybe just the product that they're trying to release is not ready. They are typically known for products, you know?
That first trailer they dropped, there was a section of the trailer where it was like a chick in a bikini or something like that, and it looked a little off. And granted, the game's not finished, right? But like, it looked almost worse than GTA 5, and I was like, I'm not really expecting this from like a Rockstar game on a PS5/PS5 Pro and whatever else Xbox comes out with in the next few years. I think they said they were dropping something new. I wasn't expecting that, so I don't know how like graphically close to done they are either.
To go back, as you said something about Xbox.
Yeah.
Clair Obscur is technically an Xbox game, by the way, guys. Just to put that out there.
That is true.
Xbox exclusive?
It's not an exclusive, but it's
it's like a subsidiary, like one of the
Yeah. Sweet Pea, what's good? Welcome in.
Hello. So I did a video of like at this point it was like damn near a year ago. And this was around the time that I was on my Jim Ryan must pay for his crimes campaign. But there was a large window that Xbox, because I think we were fresh off of like Summer Games Fest and some other things where they were announcing like day one Game Pass game that looked fire. They, South of Midnight, which it has a good word of mouth. I don't even really.
Have you tried it?
I beat the game. Like I beat the
You
game,
know, I
but
never played. I haven't played it yet.
it's
Listen,
so
bro, my backlog's crazy. So let's blame the backlog, okay?
That's crazy.
I've yet to boot up that game one time, and I was very impressed by that game. And I've yet to look at it because I was like, I don't want to add another motherfucker to this pile because I got too much already. Okay,
I get
so
it. I get it.
mm,
I will say I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Everybody has thoughts. The gameplay is not where it shines. I will admit. The
it's a
story
story.
is, yeah, the story is really what got me. I honestly, without like looking too deep in it, it's a solid like 7.5, 8 out of 10. You
Yeah,
know, which I mean, I wasn't expecting. It's a double A game. I wasn't expecting it to be like groundbreaking or anything, but yeah, it was for what it was worth. It was pretty good. Pretty
did you
good.
change the FPS or did you play it as it was
Nah, I did this
intended?
as it was intended. Yeah,
So
I
your
did not
eyes adjusted
mind.
to it. Your eyes adjusted to it.
Wait,
I never
how is it?
really
What's up with the game?
It's just how
so
they designed the game is to look
ye-
like stop motion, so it has that weird
yeah.
like 24
So
frames per second kind of play.
I want you to think of. Have you seen Across the Spider Verse?
Yes, it
Yes.
looks just like that.
Think of like Hobie in comparison to like the other Spider-Man, where he was a just like slightly more, I don't want to say choppy, but like his frame rate was
Different.
clearly different from like the rest of
Hmm.
everybody else.
Yeah. Okay,
So
that
like
makes
the
sense.
characters versus like the world and stuff like that.
Yep.
Personally, I liked it. They made the characters pop a little bit more. And I even asked like the people that were watching me, they're like,
This is South of Midnight, right?
yeah,
South of
South of
Midnight, yeah.
Midnight. I was asking
I
people in the
gotta check
chat.
it
I
out.
was like, what are your thoughts? What do they were like, I don't really mind it. The art style is pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it worked, but I can see why a person would be like, this is kind of off-putting a little bit. It's
Hmm.
definitely a choice for sure.
I'm looking forward to fighting that giant croc. Spoilers, by the way. But it was
Yeah,
in like the trailer, so like
yeah. I mean, if you didn't watch the commercials, I mean,
right. But
it's not really a
that's
spoiler.
there's something about fighting giant bosses. I love fighting like giant bosses in video games, bro.
Man, that's part of the reason I fell in love with the God of War series.
Yeah.
Um,
For
Also,
sure.
there was another game. I think it's called Heavenly Sword or something like that.
I have a
I had
Vinley sword right now.
You said what?
I have a Vinley sword right now.
I think it was like very similar, where like you're fighting huge bosses and there's like quick time events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That game is on my backlog right now.
I have it in my backlog too. I haven't played it yet, and it's not even
Yeah.
on the list. So the fact that you brought it up, it's just like I'm
Mhm,
like fuck right now.
mhm.
There's even Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I still haven't played that game yet either. It's in the backlog. Like I have a bunch of PS3 games. Shout outs to Bello Legends. He's the one who kind of put me on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So all
man.
these games that I'm showing you aren't mine. These are Bello's games. If I can find the thing, but I do have a Vinny sword here somewhere. I know I remember seeing it somewhere. But I want to play Heavenly Sword. But there's another game that I wanted to play too back in the day, but I never owned a PS. Was the PS2? I think Shadow of the
Mhm.
Colossus. That game.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
game.
That's
I
that game
really
was
want to
fun.
play that game. I really want to play that game. Oh, I have this too. I need to play this. Metal Gear Solid.
Mm. Are you
This
okay?
is 1, 2, and 3.
Keep going through your list, but are you gonna get the Metal Gear Solid Delta when it drops?
Metal Gear Solid. Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
That's Snake Eater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to hear something funny? I
What's that?
really wanted that game as a kid. Because it came out exclusively for GameCube at the time, and I asked for that shit so much, bro, and I never got it. Never got the shit because as a I was a kid back then. I was
It
like
was a lesson you
two.
had to learn, Cash.
Yeah, I
You
was
might
like
not
two.
have got Snake Eater, but you
Mhm.
got that lesson. You're
Yeah,
not gonna get everything you want in life.
exactly. It was like 2003, 2004. That was like G4 era. Yo, if you guys know
Oh
G4,
yeah.
bro, Heartless. I don't know if you ever used to watch G4 as a kid, but
G4.
bro, that was
Mhm.
nerd
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah. I think that's the whole reason why I started doing this type of stuff is because I grew up watching
Because
like
Olivia
Attack of the
Munn. I
Show.
knew it.
Olivia Munn,
See,
Morgan
see,
too.
see.
Olivia Munn and
Listen,
Morgan.
you
Morgan
caught me.
too.
You
I
figured me
caught
out.
him. I caught him.
You figured me out, man.
Morgan too. Morgan too. Don't sleep on Morgan. Morgan was nice too. Yeah, I mean, you know, I still haven't beaten this yet.
Okay, Cash.
I'm at the last part though.
There have been
I
5 iterations of this game, and you have not beaten
that's
it
not my
yet.
fault. That's not my fault.
Why is it not your fault?
There's 5 iterations. It's not my fault.
I'm
These guys
saying
are
that you
greedy.
haven't beaten it yet.
I know. My wife was actually the thing is my wife was watching me play it, and then what happened? I think we found out that the show got announced, and she just wanted to watch the show instead. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Oh well.
That's
Hey.
crazy.
Yeah, but it was fun because she liked the game because it's not like your typical video game, right? It's very narrative heavy, so it's like
It's like Batman Arkham Asylum.
yeah.
Every 5 seconds, you hear some dialogue.
So
Freaking bat. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about too.
yep, this shit is big though. It's heavy. How many
That's
this is it?
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yo, I forgot how heavy these cases were, bro. Jeez. Like we don't have these things anymore. Like we don't have physical
Over time, they start
cases,
using less and
bro.
less material on the casing.
Yeah, but not only that, bro. It's just like we don't have things to like. Oh, I can show off my collection now, guys. Type shit. We don't have those
I
anymore.
gotta take screenshots and shit now. You know,
Bullshit,
I
bro.
fell into the digital age. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I did too. I did too. That's what Pokemon cards are for. You want to collect something that's physical. There you go.
Unopened.
Still got the wrapper on it. That's crazy.
Unopened. You don't know. I actually went to a GameStop one day. I was telling Harless this story. I went to a GameStop one day, and just through conversation, this guy was like, "Yo, I even have an unopened Gears of War 4 with all the games in there because it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this game. In this case." So I was like, "Word? How much is it?" He was like, "Yo, it's like $5." Word? Let me have that, bro. When I looked this shit up online, it was like $100
Does the
for the
disc
game.
work though?
I don't know. I don't open it. It's unopened. It's an unopened case.
That's what I'm saying. If you were to put that thing in the system, would it work?
It would play in the Xbox because Xbox is backward compatible.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
But bro, this guy sold me because he scanned it. Usually GameStop wouldn't do that, but because they scanned it, the barcode said it's $5, and I got the game for $5. But the game's actually worth 100 and change because it's kind of like a classic now for some reason.
Collectors,
so like
product.
collectors, yeah. I was like, sure, let me have that. Thank you very much. Yeah,
this is
bro.
the 7th time he's brought this game up, by the way.
No, probably.
I've heard the story.
Or fourth time. Yeah, because I called you the same day I got it. You're acting like we don't talk offline. Stop it.
I'm just saying. The story is official, and I know it because this is the 4th time I've heard it. So I'm saying.
But speaking of Xbox and Gears of War and all that stuff, let's talk about the price hikes, guys.
Oh God!
But
the segues tonight have been legit.
Listen, bro.
I will say,
listen, I'm a professional. Okay, professional.
Off, man.
Okay, but bro, the price increases. Pizzo, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts about these freaking price increases? $80, bro.
Bruh. You know, I said a thing like I'm gonna say maybe the first time I was on here that capitalism is eventually going to just like cannibalize the gaming industry. It might have been a slight exaggeration, but I will say the middle class, the gaming middle class, is slowly but surely shrinking. Where you're either paying $100 for like 2 or 3 games a year, or you can get maybe like 5 or 6 for $40 if you get, your split fictions or your Clair Obscures or your, you know what I mean?
Or you wait for a sale.
There's no
or you live by the sale.
Mm-hmm.
Or you wait, and for a person like myself, like I used to play a lot of different video games,
Mhm.
having to suddenly like choose or like, and that's part of the reason why I'm kind of grateful for Game Pass, even though Game Pass may not be the best for the gaming
The
industry.
industry, yeah, I say it all the
But
time.
you know, I am grateful that I can that's the whole reason I'm playing Clair Obscur is because I have Game Pass. You
Me
know,
too.
if I didn't pay that $17, I would have just been like, oh, okay, that looks nice. You know,
Mm,
but yeah, I hate it. I fucking hate it because
not
it
only that.
starts out as 80 now, and then it
Mhm.
goes to 90, and it's like, at what point is there going to be a hard cap where it's like, okay, like, there's, and I will say, I'll even say this, like, there are certain like maybe a less than a handful of games that at the end of the day, with
Are
what you're
worth that.
getting, they're probably going to be worth 80, $90, you
Mhm.
know, but to make it the industry norm, that's kind of where I'm like, okay, this is kind of scuffed a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's the problem. That's the biggest issue right now. It's the industry share. Now people have to really think about their purchases, right? And I think that's gonna hurt the industry. Like
Mm,
real
I
talk, it's
think
gonna.
as a consumer, you have to detach yourself from FOMO and hype of release dates, and
Mhm.
you have to start becoming attached to hype of the seasonal sales and when games go on sale. Hogwarts Legacy hit $17 like 6 times this year.
mm,
Mhm.
So it's like if you're a real gamer like us, we have backlogs.
mm-hmm.
So when times become this, we go to our backlogs, we finish up games that we haven't finished up
True.
before.
Exactly.
When games go on sale, that's when we buy them. I'm not attached to release dates. You know, I don't
Right.
care about oh my god, Ghost of Tsushima came out years ago, and I've only been getting excited about it recently because I'm like, yo, I'll be able
Bro.
to get it on sale soon. Oh, that's
Oh
sick.
snap.
That's sick.
Ghost of Yote is coming out. If they charge me 90, which gratefully, I think they announced that it is going to be 70. Thank God. Thank God. But day one for me, you know, this is
Bro,
just me personally.
straight up, I'm gonna be honest. Like
You were different.
I said this before. I made a tweet about this recently. I said all this means is I'm just gonna be waiting for sales. And now even more so now,
Mhm.
Heartless is bringing up backlogs. Because here's the thing too, as streamers, bro, a lot of us, a lot of guys will buy these games and get these games just because they want to be the first to play it on stream. Which,
Yeah.
if you think about it, if you're not the top guys, doesn't make any sense. Hear me out for a second, because
Okay.
everybody is going to go check for the streamer, the biggest streamer, and see what their thoughts are. They don't really
Yeah.
care about the little guys, right? Oh, you're playing it because a lot of people know that most people are playing it to get that kind of attention. But you're not
Mhm.
gonna blow up off of Clear Obscure. Like a small streamer is not gonna blow up off Clear Obscure. You're really not.
Even
You're
if you
not.
played the game that seriously, the
Mhm.
fact that you're playing it that seriously means you're gonna beat it in less than 2 weeks.
Right.
And what's gonna happen after that?
Then what? So I don't go after those things. Don't get me wrong. When I just started streaming, I used to think about, all right, what is the hottest game that I can play now? But you're just starting off. Me, I'm a variety streamer through and through. I love games, so I play
Mhm.
everything. Right. Even though you could say a lot of my core games are like fighting games, I love story games. So you're gonna see me play a lot of those games on my stream. So that's what you're gonna get from me, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm gonna go back to like the other day, I was playing Resident Evil 4 remake. I got rated with 14 viewers.
Because
Someone
you
else
play
was
Resident
playing.
Evil?
I was playing Resident Evil. Somebody else was playing Resident
That's what I'm
Evil,
saying,
and they
man. Just play
rated
whatever
me.
you wanna play. Over
Yeah,
time, you'll meet people.
yeah, and they rated me with 14 people, and I'm like, "Word, what's up? Welcome in, everybody." And all that, bro. I got rated by the voice actor of thing from Resident Evil. I don't remember that dude's name. You know the Spanish dude that Leon met in the town? I can't remember his name. What's his name? It's a dude in a vest in Resident Evil 4. He's one of the characters in
Was that a
Resident Evil
yawn or a
4.
sneeze or
It was
I
Aeon.
am sorry. Been a long day.
The
No,
but
I was just like, yo, was
you
that a sneeze? Was that a silent
No.
sneeze?
No, yeah.
no,
If
it's
I sneezed,
Aeon.
you probably would have been frightened a little bit, not gonna lie.
Oh
You know
god.
what the character I'm talking about though, right? Pizzo? In
I
Resident Evil
don't.
4.
I don't.
There's one guy, he was kind of like helping Leon in Resident Evil 4.
Break out the handy dandy
Yes.
Google
Why?
search.
That's what I'm doing. Does he have a Hispanic name?
Yes.
Andre Pena?
Yes. He rated me before. He rated me because he saw me. Luis Serra. Thank you, Hades. Welcome in. Luis Serra. He was the guy in Resident Evil, right? He raided me one night because I was playing Resident Evil 4 Remake, and he was playing as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. He rated
That's
me with
dope
like
as hell,
20,
actually.
25 viewers one night because I was playing Resident Evil.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's definitely dope.
So, but this is what I'm saying though. A lot of people tend to go for like the big games, like the new games, the hottest games that are out right now.
Mhm.
When a lot of times that's not where the attention is. Like you have smaller pockets of like the gaming communities that you can tap into as a streamer. You don't have to worry about the biggest games. You don't need to.
Just got to worry about separating yourself as a personality.
Right, exactly.
That's ultimately what it is.
That's ultimately what
Maybe
it
I'll
is,
set
bro.
some fireworks off in my spot.
That'll get the
Tell you
views,
what.
the clicks, for sure.
This man says he's gonna set firework off. Man's trying to beat Casanat and this shit. I can't believe you.
That's speed. Don't get it twisted.
Casanat did it too. You forgot they do that freaking every 4th of July. They do fireworks in their rooms.
That's bro.
They got the money. They could do
The
it.
way my mom would
people
have
eat
whooped
their
my
stuff,
ass.
too.
I mean, they got their own place, so. But yeah, back to the Xbox thing, bro. I don't think this bodes well for the industry at all. And I also
Yeah.
blame Nintendo for that shit. A Nintendo game is gonna be $80. So of course Xbox is gonna raise their price because they're gonna be like, say what? $80? And remember, Nintendo games are not as powerful as like a PlayStation or an Xbox per se, but they're still selling their game at like premium $80 prices. I think that's insane. I personally think that's insane.
It's the future, bro. Better get your money up, not your funny up.
Yo, so we didn't even talk about the fact that consoles are also going to go up in price.
Oh, that's
yeah,
another
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's another thing. I'm like confused. Like
Mhm.
you're already being outsold in the console market. The next gen is right around the corner.
Right around the corner, 2026.
PCs are going up in popularity, and you thought it was a smart. The PS5 just released an updated version of the PS5 that's more powerful than ever before, and you thought this was the time to raise the price on your console. Like, yeah, you're gonna get a few people who just need to get their hands on an Xbox, and they'll pay your shitty price for it. But I don't know how this is a feasible strategy at all for sales.
No, none. So, all right. So let's look at the series. Let's look at the list right now, right? So Xbox Series S, the 512 gigabyte is 380 from 300. So it's I guess $80. It's a $80 price increase because the Series S 1 terabyte is 430 from 350, which is fucking insane. Xbox Series X digital is 550 from 450. That's $100. So that's not even. So some of them is $100 price increase. Yeah, because the Xbox Series X is from 500 to 600. Holy shit!
Would you pay $600 for an Xbox today?
Fuck no. Xbox Series X 2
You didn't have to say
terabyte
it like
Black
that,
Special
man.
Edition 730. Bro, let me explain to you guys the reason why I have all these consoles. Right.
Mhm.
One of my issues was when I just started off, I had a laptop that I was streaming from, so it wasn't that powerful. So I needed the consoles, but I still wanted to have like a high quality stream. So I ended up getting all the consoles, so I can then because I have not an adapter. I don't know what you call those, like a splitter, so I can switch between my games on the fly from my desktop. Like I could just press a button and
I
it
know
switches
this
to
man
the
thought it
Xbox.
was Luscious Fox when you set that shit up.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much, you know. So it's like I can switch between my
That's
Xbox, my
hilarious.
PlayStation, and my Switch with one click of a button. I still use it now because I still think it's useful, but I don't have to put too much pressure on my PC because I think it alleviates the worry of me wanting to upgrade my PC anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I did that. That's the only reason why. But I don't technically need them, especially the Xbox. Because if I have Game Pass for PC, I can play all the
Yeah,
games. I can play all the games.
I went PS5, PC. Once I realized I get the same games on the same, well, not the same pass, but PC Game Pass, I was just like, I don't, there's really no use. I don't,
Yeah.
if I want to play the same things, I could just fire up my
I'll be
PC.
honest with y'all though. I bought the PlayStation just for the exclusives because I don't give a shit about anything else on PlayStation. I just don't.
Yeah.
Xbox is kind of like my daily driver console because I've been using Xbox for so long. So it's like, plus I love the controllers. The Xbox controllers feels more comfortable to me. Like I can't play my games on the PlayStation for too long because my hands start to hurt. I don't know what it is with the PlayStation.
Man, you got small hand syndrome.
No, not that. It means the controller is too small because the Xbox controller is actually bigger than the PlayStation.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I have like this weird thing with PlayStation controllers. They hurt my hands. They are. It is smaller.
Well, I'm doing I have a DualSense Edge, and then I have the regular.
The DualSense
Edge
is about the size of the Xbox controller, so it's actually better. So probably if I get the DualSense Edge, I would, but that's $200, which I'm not going to spend on a controller. So
definitely a leisure purchase. That is not necessary for anything.
Right.
You play a lot of like competitive shooters, and that I'll probably be
I don't. I play freaking adventure games on the PlayStation. That's about it. Like every game has a purpose if you think about it. All of my console has a purpose.
Y'all are gonna judge me?
Yes, I will. But
I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, man. That stadium mode.
I'm judging.
The stadium mode is fun, man.
The stadium mode is Marvel Rivals. I don't want to hear that shit.
No, it's not. If anything, it's closer to like Smite, maybe.
Oh, really?
It's like, man, it's really hard to describe. It's like a mix of different games. But if I had to like compare to anything, it's like Overwatch and Smite had a baby. So if you look up gameplay, you'll see the difference.
Exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you'll see the difference. Now, I will say, is it good enough to make people that swore off Overwatch come back? No, it's not. But is it bad? Not at all. Not at all. It's something new, and it's something that they give you a lot of things about different characters that people have been asking for like years on in at this point.
Wait.
And it's just
Stadium mode is just regular Overwatch for 3D.
No,
I mean third person.
It is third person. It is third person. But if you watch the gameplay and then you go in between rounds, so like you have something called we'll just call it a point system. Yes, perks, and you can purchase perks in between round where you can have like I know Junker Queen. She has this perk where if she gets knocked back, her move speed increases 40%, and she gets like a slight buff to her attack speed. Or if she uses shout and command, she gets like it's just a whole bunch. Like Diva, if she gets knocked out of her mech, she gets nano for like 0.5 seconds. It's
and that's not in the regular ranked game mode.
Not at all.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I see the difference now.
I'll look into it.
So I mean, like I said, it's worth looking into. And like I said, if you swore off Overwatch for any reason, it's not good enough to make you be like, okay, I'm about to work, Overwatch into my schedule and whatnot. But I feel like you would walk away from the experience like, okay, I see y'all trying. I hate it took Marvel Rivals whooping y'all's ass for the past 5 months for y'all to do this, but
Marvel Rivals is not a great game either, honestly. I play Marvel Rivals. It's fun. Don't get it twisted. But a lot of the shit people complain about in Overwatch, like, don't think that Marvel Rivals is immune to having the same diseases that Overwatch had.
And people are starting to talk about that more and more. At least like the big creators in the Marvel rival scene that shifted over from Overwatch. A lot of the conversations, there are a lot of the same conversations that happened in the earlier stages of Overwatch that led to characters like Brigitte and like different character changes happening that people over time were like, what the fuck is this? Do
I want to keep playing with the same 2 bands, the same 3 bands every game, and deal with the same this and that, and deal with this and that, and this character does this, and you're gonna get the same kinds of arguments and stuff that people hate about Rivals, that it's gonna go through the same life cycle. I promise you.
Yeah, and I feel like I said something like that before Marvel Rivals came out, and people called me a mad. History is destined to repeat itself. If you swear off Overwatch and then just take anything that Marvel Rivals gives you, you're pretty much propping Marvel Rivals up to be the next Overwatch.
For sure.
I will say they do a better job of listening to the community, which the community at this point, I don't even think they know what they want. They just had a support strike. Did y'all hear about that? Like,
no.
There's a
yes.
creator.
I saw that.
So Necros, and I've been seeing clips of him playing support and getting deleted in like less than a second from a random Black Panther, but that's neither here nor there. He started talking shit about supports and how it's brain dead and how, they just need to get better at the game. They couldn't do what DPS does, blah, blah, blah. And support people, whenever the season first started, they felt like they didn't have the tools they needed to deal with dive, which, your Venoms, your Spider-Mans, the people that can really terrorize the back line. And so Marvel Rivals buffed the supports, and I mean, people are mostly okay with it. They made the rank change where it's more like depending on your individual performance, which I'm afraid if they go too far with that, it can end up being more so like team deathmatch than anything, where you see people like playing for personal performance rather than the actual objective itself. But again, as that will be later on down the line if it keeps getting worse. But yeah, man, Marvel Rivals is not immune to its own like toxicity within the community.
People bullied Overwatch into having a role queue, right? Just wait till they bully Marvel Rivals and having a role queue. Just wait. We're gonna see the same things happen all over again.
Yeah, man.
I think it's par for the course. I feel like it's the more
and
people.
What's up with the
go ahead.
12-second support ults? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Why is Luna dancing for 12 seconds straight?
Bro,
he's feeling the groove, man. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know. I will say, I think. Well, does Magneto ult take Luna out? Because I know it takes Cloak and Dagger out of their ult, and I think Iron Man's ult can take Luna out.
I believe so, because I've killed Luna with my mines before as a penny. She just goes over my mines, boom, there goes her and her ult.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess there are some checks and balances, but I will say it is a little bit too long, because especially if you have like a Cloak and a Luna pops ult and nobody checks her, and then Cloak and Dagger, you have the point covered in whatever the fuck that shit is. I'm sorry for cussing, but whatever that black stuff is, yeah, that can definitely be annoying.
Yep. Let's hop over to the chat real quick. What did Danny say?
He's got some valid points. He said, I thought Roll Q was brought in because they didn't know how to balance shit like they couldn't balance goats. Do you know what goats is? Goats is essentially the comp, the meta strategy that became popular because of the Overwatch League. It revolved around Bridget. Honestly, Overwatch's problem was they needed to remove Bridget, which, by the way, people complained about CC in Overwatch, so they removed a lot of the CC. There's a lot of CC in Marvel Rivals.
There really is.
So, like,
it was bad at first. I was telling y'all about how Jeff ate me out of my. Oh, that sounds crazy.
That's crazy. Shout out to Jeff.
I got Jeff ulted by my teammate out of my own Thor ult while I was in the air. I don't think I've ever been more pissed in my life. But
I heard that happen.
Was that?
I need a moment.
What, that's you.
I need a moment.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
No, I need a moment. Okay, I'm back. So I heard that it happens to Captain America as well. I hear it breaks him out of his ult.
It happens to anything, honestly.
Really?
I mean, not anything, but like like imagine, let's say your teammate is Punisher and he ulted. You think he wouldn't disappear? I'm pretty sure he would disappear with the Jeff ult.
So
Right.
there's only one situation where he wouldn't be like ulted by Jeff, and that's he has a moment where he's invulnerable when he sets turret up. So like if he times his turret whenever the Jeff ult goes off, he actually lives through that. Like he doesn't get
Okay. See,
Yeah.
this man's got tech. But nonetheless, there's still a lot of CC in that game. I've seen
Sure.
things where somebody will get thrown across the map by Wolverine, right? They'll land. The second they land, they get penny webbed, right? After the penny web, the next CC comes in. After that, the next thing comes in. Next thing you know, before you're dead, Wolverine takes you on another ride because you got CC'd until his cooldown was down.
What's worse is when you get juggled by the thing, and then here comes Logan to snatch you midair to the back line, and then everybody just finishes you off. Like, hey, man.
At some point, people are gonna get sick of that.
They are. They are.
Mm-hmm.
They are. Mind you, you can get choked by Emma now, and then karate kicked.
Bro, yo, you're saying some crazy shit nowadays, bro.
Hold on.
You can say some crazy shit.
Imagine you are a tank with like 900 health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine snatches you out the air. The second you get brought to the ground, Emma comes and slams you. The second you are released from that animation, you get penny webbed. The second you are released from that, what
Wolverine
else?
Again.
No, Eye of Agamotto. You get Eye of Agamotto.
Oh God, I have nightmares.
Bro, that it's gonna come to how many times have we killed people together where you know what, we don't even play that often, but there's so many times where I will web somebody, and in the moment that they're done getting webbed, one of my teammates who has CC will also CC them and kill them. Oh, you got slept by Mantis right after I webbed you. That's got to be mad annoying.
That's crazy. Yeah, they're gonna have to figure that out,
and they're not going to.
You don't think so?
No,
they're releasing a new character every month. I promise you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait for the announcement where they're gonna have to roll back how fast they release characters for the sake of balancing the game. Mark my words. I'll take my pizza.
Man said pizza bet.
I'll give them until the end of the year before crap hits the fan. Like, we're what? This is May. They have 7 people to release. People are already complaining that there are more tanks and DPS. There's not new supports, which I think Ultron's supposed to be releasing at the end of this.
I think Ultron's going to be a tactical. I think he is going to be a tactical.
What? Oh, wait.
Strategist.
Oh, okay.
I call him tactical. My bad.
They're releasing characters faster than people are figuring out the game, which you would think. You would think that's a good thing, right? You would think it's a good thing. That means like, okay, people aren't figuring out the game. It's gonna keep us safe in the meta.
Not only that, it makes the game change every single time they drop a new character. So that's what they're relying on.
You would think that's good, but wait till they get into a situation where somebody has figured out something that's gonna beat everything, and they have no clue how to stop it. Just wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that Final Fantasy game is pretty casual.
I don't think any game is casual. There's no such thing as a casual game.
Nowadays, everybody's a sweat, bro. Everybody is a sweat nowadays, bro. Even the casuals. Like the bar for casual has gone up dramatically.
Tremendously. After work dad gamers,
my God.
Extinct.
Bro, those guys,
you guys.
Those dudes are legit. Like you would think they are a part of like a friggin' like whole team nowadays, bro. Big name team making bank off Marvel Rivals or any other game, even Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty is littered with sweats. Every single game you can think of, bro. Any game
there's a competitive mode to it. People will look for the edgest of the edge.
Yeah. It's also with Street Fighter. It's with every game, even fighting games. Fighting games.
The way it is.
Except Mortal Kombat. Anyways, moving on.
Okay. All right. I mean, I can't defend it. So
the gaming industry has so many gamers now that the small percentage of gamers a small percentage of people that just hyper fixate on the things that they get into.
Hmm.
There's enough gamers now where those people are in every game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's going to be a small percentage of people who just hyper fixate and they figure out everything about the damn game.
Mm-hmm.
No game is safe anymore from casual play.
Facts. All right. So before we get into our next segment, Heartless, you want to tell the people about our speedrun section?
Do I want to go through the speed run?
Yes.
All right, cool. And then we have another section after that?
Yes, there. You know what the section is. We
I
always
think
do
so. I
it.
think so.
So
All right,
guys,
guys.
what time is
Y'all
it,
know the
Heartless?
drill.
It's time for what?
What'd you say?
What time is it?
It's time for the speed run. Oh, the gamer actual speed run.
There we go.
All right. You guys know the drill. So the way I do this is I go through a list of headlines of rumors from the last week, and if it's things that have caught the attention of either Pizzo or Cash, they will stop me and we'll talk about it before I move on the list. If not, I kind of go through the list pretty quickly. We call it the speed run, so we don't waste time on topics that people don't really care for too much. This week was a light list. We only got, I think, 4 or 5 here. But nonetheless, let's go through it. First one on the list, Activision considering locking certain game modes behind Battle Pass for Call of Duty 2025.
Why am I not surprised?
It's kind of the theme of tonight's episode, huh?
I'm not surprised.
Oh, capitalism, boo.
Next one on the list, next-gen console is expected for 2027 by Supermassive Games. Let me pull up this article, actually, before we move on. I'll say it pretty quickly, but I'll tell you what it has here. Supermassive's parent company, Nordisk, has a long-standing and very cozy relationship with Sony. On its own website, Nordisk proudly refers to itself as the Nordic home of PlayStation, handling everything from sales to marketing to logistics. They've been in the trenches with Sony through 5 console launches, and odds are they're already prepping for number 6. That tracks with recent reports that Sony's collaboration with AMD on the PlayStation 6 chip is already deep into development. So a lot of this, but apparently it's looking for like a 2027 release schedule.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you guys have anything to say, if not, in 3,
Nah.
2, 1, a new Nier game might be in the works by Original Core team.
Ooh, that's fire. You know what Nier is, Heartless?
Yeah, Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Okay,
That's
so I'm
insane.
going to read it real quickly to you guys. Nier series producer Yosuke Saito confirmed that Yoko Taro, Keiichi Okabe, and Takahisa Taura are working together on an unannounced project that may or may not be Nier. Next one on the list, we got Naughty Dog had 3 single-player games in development last year. Naughty Dog is a company I've heard Cash talk about a lot, so maybe he's got something to say about that.
Not in particular, no. Like, I don't have much. Feel like I have more ire towards Naughty Dog since Amy Hennig left. I feel like she was like one of the driving creative forces in that studio, and since she left, I feel like I don't really appreciate, or I don't really have that much interest in their games. Like, and I played a lot of their recent games. It's just there's something missing. I don't know what it is, but it feels like there's something gone. I don't know if anybody feels any differently, but that's just how I feel when it comes to Naughty Dog. Pizzo, thoughts?
So I guess I'll have to wait until Intergalactic comes out, because I want to say, like, from what I've seen, I'm not really impressed, aside graphically, right? Of course, Naughty Dog game's going to look impressive.
Of course, always.
But from what I've heard, it's supposed to be like their version of a Souls-like game, which it could be interesting, right? But it could also be very terrible. But this is just from rumors, and also the Last of Us 2 documentary, when they were talking about how in love with the environmental design of like Elden Ring, like environmental storytelling of Elden Ring, and how originally the level design of The Last of Us 2 was supposed to be closer to how Bloodborne's level design worked, until they decided to scrap that and turn it into its own thing that I think turned into Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Now as far as them having like 3 games, like did they say that was including Intergalactic and then like 2 other games, or like because if there were
Heartless.
3
I'm
other
pulling it up right now.
yeah, if there were 3 other single player games,
Because here's the
I mean,
thing with that, right? Here's the thing with this when it comes to Naughty Dog as well, right? They've in recent years, no, they haven't had bad game per se. Like
you're right.
bad games are subjective. Let's say that, and I feel like they've did how many remakes now? It feels like it's just like they've done so.
Yeah,
It's damn near like, come on, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? At the time that you
yeah.
guys spent making a remastered game, y'all could have been focusing on a new game,
True.
Okay.
and they did that multiple times.
So I got
Multiple
this.
times.
I got this for us right here. So the source is Daniel Rickman.
Mm-hmm.
He's had multiple posts on Reddit, right?
Okay.
According to Daniel, Naughty Dog canceled a single player game 3 months ago, led by Vinit Agarwal, who left the studio in January. He says development began after the cancellation of The Last of Us Online and had been in progress for over a year. He also revealed a few weeks ago that Naughty Dog had another secret single player game in the works after Intergalactic under the direction of Sean S. Craig. What's very interesting, though, is that this would line up with statements from Neil Druckmann saying, "I promise you will not be the Last of Us studio forever." Numerous games, he said, are in the works, including multiple single player projects, as well as Naughty Dog confirming themselves that they have more than one ambitious brand new single player game that we're working on.
I think they're waiting out for Heretic Prophet. If that game doesn't do well, they might scrap those two other games.
Listen, man. I mean, I have no reason to really doubt Naughty Dog at the end of the day. But I mean, you split a team amongst like 3 different games. Something's bound to be sacrificed as a result. So
true, you're gonna lose quality somewhere.
So hopefully that is true. Like they were hoping for the Heretic Prophet to either succeed or fail. Hopefully, I mean, I never hope for a bad game, so like I hope it succeeds. And we get whatever was supposed to be made or whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, I can only with $100 games on the horizon, I can really only focus on like 1 or 2 games at a time. So I feel like I'm not missing out on anything if they just go Heretic Prophet and nothing else.
Right. Just put all your attention into that one game, and then do what you need to do and move on to the other project, as opposed to just. I get it. Makes sense.
That's one thing they do well is like the attention to detail with these games. I say these games are really the Last of Us series, you know. So I want that same type of love and care put into whether it's Heretic Prophet or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
Right.
Interesting though, nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Heartless, anything else?
No, that's it for the speed run. That is it for the speed run.
That is it for the speed run section. Okay, cool. So here's the deal, guys. As you guys know, we have a new segment on the show, which is called our side quests, right? And for tonight's side quest, we're doing a little game called Versus Mode, right? And now what Versus Mode is, we pit a bunch of video game legends together and see who would win in that matchup.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Is it going to be 100 men versus a gorilla?
100 Ellies versus Gorilla Grodd.
That's what I'm saying. God. Like we can get really interesting with this. We can use the themes of the month.
Oh wait, okay. Really quick. I don't know if y'all seen this question, but there was a question online, I want to say last week, and said, do you think that Ellie would survive in Clementine's zombie universe, or would Clementine fare better in Ellie's
that's a good one. That's actually a good question.
Me personally, I think Ellie
would survive in the Walking Dead universe.
Sure,
definitely.
Walking Dead.
Because they're walkers. Walkers are slow as shit. The
And that's
cordyceps
it.
are fast as fuck, bro. What
They
are we
got
talking about?
stalkers, runners, clickers, bloaters.
Mhm.
What is Clem gonna do?
Right,
All she's dealt with walkers. That's literally it. She just has to
right. They
shoot
don't
and be quiet.
evolve. They don't evolve. They don't do anything. They're just traditional zombies. These cordyceps motherfuckers, they don't play around.
Built
They're
They're
different.
like the
not
dudes from I Am Legend.
worse.
Yeah.
They
I
have
haven't seen
different
that.
variation. They have different variations of them. Heartless. Pizzo just list a bunch of them. Each one of those are different kinds.
Mm-hmm. Require their own methods to take care of them
Yes.
too. And don't let there
Yes.
be multiple different types in one single area because now
You
you
know,
gotta
so most clickers can't see, right? They go off sound, right?
I'm looking at
But
a picture right now.
but there are some that when they're like freshly turned ones, Pizzo, I don't know if you noticed, they can actually still see.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
runners,
can
stalkers, clickers, bloaters.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
mm-hmm.
there's so many of them. So yeah, I don't know. I think Clementine would definitely, if she'd have a tougher time. I wouldn't say she won't survive, but she would definitely have a tougher time in
Okay.
the Last
That's
of Us
fair.
universe.
That's fair.
'Cause I love
I do.
Clementine.
Holy
I
shit.
fuck with Clem. I do. I love Clem, man.
She grew up with me, bro. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
man.
raised
I gotta
her.
watch this shit.
I raised her, bro.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, guys. All right, let's get into versus mode real quick. All right.
Okay.
I think I don't want to start with this one. This one is we're gonna start with the second one. So
Okay.
Dante versus Bayonetta, right? They're both stylish, over the top warriors who've like battled angels and demons and gods with flair. That's kind of like the tagline here. So what I want to do is kind of like make similar makeups because I don't want. I
Mhm.
feel like we can't do a Kratos versus Master Chief. That would make fucking sense.
Okay.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So Dante versus Bayonetta, who wins? Chat. I would love to hear what the chat has to say.
I would
I'm thinking
probably-
Dante.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm probably choosing Dante.
Why?
I have
He's
not
Dante,
played the
bro.
Bayonetta games, so I can't really vouch for Bayonetta.
Damn, Taj says probably Bayonetta. Damn, Taj.
Why Bayonetta?
Yeah, why
Well,
Bayonetta,
see,
chat?
I'm with Roger here. It's the Dante's got that plot armor, right? No one's voting against Dante.
Bayonetta's got to be strong, though.
Uh,
Nah. I feel like. Wait a minute. We got a raid, guys. Welcome in, everybody. Taj with the raid of 12. I didn't realize that. My bad, Taj. We didn't get the notification.
You're not paying attention.
No, it didn't come up in the
How did I
thing
see it?
because you probably have a different chat up.
That's true.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Gamer Actual Podcast. This is our weekly gaming podcast where we talk about all things video game, usually the latest in gaming news. But now you guys actually caught us in our side quest segment, which is called Versus Mode, where we pit characters against each other from video games and see who would win in a fight. So you guys kind of come in at a great time, by the way. Welcome in, everybody.
It is
Shout
a
out
great
to
time.
Taj.
We want these opinions.
Yeah, we love these opinions. We love these opinions. We talking about games or something? Yes, we are. You
So
are
it's
in the
Dante
podcast.
versus Bayonetta. Well, give us your takes, guys.
Yeah, Dante
coming out
versus
on top?
Bayonetta. Who wins? Bayo is spanking Angel the size of football stadiums, bro. Similar to Death Battle. Yes, it's kind of like Death Battle. That's basically what this is. But the segment changes every week. So we have one called Plot Twist, which is another one. So we got a bunch of them. But right now we're focused on versus
It's
mode.
like a little mini game show in the middle of every podcast.
Exactly, pretty much. So you said Bayonetta. I feel like most of the chat's kind of mixed right now.
They are kind of mixed, but it seems like they're leaning towards Bayonetta a little bit more.
A little bit
seeing
more. Which is
Bayonetta
good.
than anything.
And I feel like the ones who are saying Dante, we're just saying Dante because of our bias.
Right.
And then the ones who are saying Bayonetta, they're actually coming through with a little bit of facts.
Put a poll. You know what? You're right.
And
Let's
two,
put
you
that
got
poll
it.
up. And 2 was the GOAT for that. Let me see who wins. I want to hear what the chat has to say.
I'm about to hear what Google got to say about this.
This man. Yo, you know what we should do?
Yeah.
Chat GPT. And then ask Dante or Bayonetta.
That's hilarious.
Yo, Google AI says Bayonetta.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's the poll, guys.
Does it give a explanation why, or it just says
it gives a whole. It gives the craziest explanations. Go.
That's what I like.
Due to her superior combat abilities and powers, according to a post on DeviantArt, while Dante is physically strong and has a wide arsenal, Bayonetta's ability to use her witch time, summon demons, and a unique fighting style, which includes using her legs, give her a significant edge. And it goes, here's a more detailed breakdown. It goes down to break down witch time, demonic power, agility, experience. Apparently, she's older and more experienced than him in combat.
Okay.
And then Dante's got physical strength, weaponry, regeneration, and battle intelligence as his advantages. And then the conclusion is, while Dante's physical strength and weaponry are formidable, Bayonetta's witch time, demonic power, and unique fighting style give her the edge in this matchup. Her ability to slow down time, summon powerful demons, and use her legs in combat would make it difficult for Dante to land a decisive blow, ultimately leading to Bayonetta's victory. Shout out to Google.
Damn.
Shout out to Google.
So, yep, there you have it, folks. There we have it. Bayonetta wins this fight.
Never thought I'd see the day Google was wrong. Nah, I'm joking, man. I gotta play Bayonetta apparently because
Bayonetta summons a god to punch the final boss into the sun. Good lord, bro. Yeah. All right, so here's the other one then, guys. This is kind of a different one since we're still kind of on like the Devil May Cry versus type shit, but we're gonna throw somebody else in the mix. Sephiroth versus Virgil.
Wait, what?
Sephiroth versus Virgil.
All day.
Why Sephiroth though?
Why Sephiroth? It says both wield godlike power and ambition with personal ties to divine and supernatural conflict. That's the tagline I had there.
Sephiroth is a planet buster.
No. The guy that directed DMC one directed Bayonetta. Really? I didn't know that.
I'm really trying to think here.
Yeah, you don't know?
Cash. I gotta show you something. I'm gonna send it to your DMs on Discord. Bro, look what I asked Google. This got me dying.
Let me see this shit. Like you're a dumbass.
Yo, just read what it says though.
Wait. Because what the fuck? And Castro being a nobody is generally wow.
Yeah.
That's too funny. I asked Google who would in a fight, Cash Crow or the Heartless, and it came through with a wild response.
What did it
say? It said, in a hypothetical fight, Cash Crow would likely win against the Heartless. While the Heartless are a dangerous force in the Kingdom Hearts universe, they are not as powerful as nobodies. And Cash Crow, being a nobody, is generally more powerful than the Heartless. I'm dead,
bro.
Dead.
That's fucking
crying, bro.
At least it said that was powerful. I'll take it.
True. You gotta take your wins where you can get them.
Yeah,
right?
Hilarious.
I'll take
Google
it.
AI is too funny. I'm dead.
Bro. All right. So our back to the conversation now. Sephiroth versus Virgil. You said
Sephiroth. He's a planet buster. There's no other.
Yeah.
Heartless
is Virgil a planet buster.
He was like bending reality and shit. Virgil doesn't have a feat that could be on that level.
My thing is, does Virgil need oxygen? Because when Sephiroth blows up the planet, I'm not sure our atmosphere is still going to have a bunch of oxygen lying around for Virgil to breathe.
Yeah. It's the power scaling is just it's not there.
It's not there.
All right, so it says, all right.
A better question would be Goku versus Sephiroth.
True.
Ooh, that's crazy. But here's what ChatGPT says, guys. Raw power, Sephiroth wields supernova an attack so over the top it destroys planets and stars. So yeah.
And stars.
Thanks, Sephiroth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also has one that says Virgil in his Sin Devil trigger warps reality. So they're saying they're kind of like a close matchup, but Sephiroth would ultimately win. It says Sephiroth will win due to his sheer scale of destruction and durability. So that's that. There we have it. So Sephiroth wins.
Does we got chat saying Goku beats everybody? Stop being silly. Doesn't Sailor Moon beat Goku?
Wait, what?
Yeah, so listen, man. It sounds crazy, but Sailor Moon
beats
has
Goku.
some nutty ass feats, bro. Like dead ass. You would think it's not a competition.
So Sailor Moon is what, Squirrel Girl for the manga universe? Like, is that what she is? Is that what we're saying? Because Squirrel Girl is an absolute meme. Like,
yo, Sailor Moon. Let me go ask Google.
Yeah.
Who is the biggest enemy?
Hearing Sailor Moon, Squirrel Girl is hilarious.
Sailor Moon.
I'm pretty sure Sailor Moon beat something that was bigger than a galaxy or something. Something like that. Let's go see.
What?
Yeah, bro. Sailor Moon, she be going off.
That's what I'm saying, man. She has insane, ridiculous feats, bro.
No. Never lost. Like, y'all are bugging.
Like, no. I don't care what y'all try.
And Goku's died. Goku's died quite a lot.
Yeah.
That man has taken a lot of L's.
Did you hear about the new discussion around Dragon Ball Super? They're saying pretty much every character is on the same, like all the main characters, the main hitters are on the same level now. So Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, who else? Gohan. They're all on the same level.
In which series?
Super, Dragon Ball Super. They're all on the same level, which is why they all have to train now. Because the next guy that shows up, because they're saying
Jiren, right?
No, that's Jiren. They're saying Frieza Black or whatever the fuck. He was so powerful, he hit Goku out of Ultra Instinct one punch. Because Frieza is that powerful.
Wait, isn't Dragon Ball Super the series that had Jiren in it, or is this a new series coming out?
No, Jiren was in Super, but they're
okay. So I'm not lost.
Yeah, but they're gonna continue Super because apparently they're bringing back Super. But they're saying that the creator is saying they're all on the same level. Like because Piccolo has a new form. I don't know if you know that. Piccolo has the orange form.
Yeah.
It's just ugly. That movie was trash.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. The 3D, the hybrid.
After what they did with the Broly movie, how did they go back?
Yeah,
backwards?
The Broly movie was. I actually watched that in the theater, bro.
It was cinematic as fuck.
Yeah, Gohan is also has his beast form now too, which I also don't like. Goku and Vegeta, so they have Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct. Those are the two. And there was somebody else I feel like I saw there. But essentially they're all on the same level. So now they all have to train for the next guy. I think Moro is going to show up soon. Yes, and tomorrow. What are you looking up?
The Ultra Ego form? I did not know this is official.
Vegeta has Ultra Ego.
This is sick.
Yeah. Because you know what they're training Vegeta for, right?
What are they training Vegeta for?
To be the next god of destruction.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, Vegeta is the next god of destruction, and Goku is the next Whis. Essentially,
I see. That's kind of sick.
Interesting.
Because if you think about it, Whis is always in. I don't know if you guys know this, but Whis is in Ultra Instinct.
Really?
Whis is constantly in Ultra Instinct, and he can't get out. If he turns it off, he's dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the premise in which everybody's on the same level though? Like, I get like
I get there. I
Frieza
guess
Black.
what
Okay.
I feel like what it was is because most people have this whole debate about who's stronger. So they created this game. I said, listen, they're all on the same level. Just quit complaining. They all need to train so they can beat the
Mm-hmm.
next bad guy. And that's
Okay.
basically what.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I hate that because personally, I love the fact that Piccolo probably wasn't as strong, but he was tactical enough to like use his smarts to outwit his opponents as opposed to
Mm,
using like raw power.
forced.
Goku's
Yeah.
raw power. Vegeta is raw power, but he gets in his own way. Vegeta's worst enemy is himself. Because him and Goku are both on the same level, right? But he tends to lose a lot more because he let his pride get in his way every single time. That's really what that's the whole premise around Vegeta. If
And
he just
Goku
get
hungry.
Goku's hungry, yes, but they're both on the same level. But the thing is with Goku he's not prideful, right? Goku's just yeah, exactly. He's hungry. He's always willing to fight. And just don't fuck with his friends. Just don't. It's gonna be problem. I hate that I feel like Vegeta, what they do with Vegeta, I don't really appreciate either. Like the one time they gave Vegeta a win, they took it back. And that pissed me off to no end, bro. When Frieza, Resurrection of F, Vegeta was the star of that fucking movie, bro. Y'all don't remember that fight?
No.
The
I
last fight
don't.
with Frieza and Vegeta was giving Frieza the fucking business, bro. And they let Frieza blow up the planet. And then rewind time, Whis and Beerus rewound time so Goku could then stop Frieza. And I'm like, bro, bro, bro.
Nah, they played him. They
They
played him.
played him, bro. I didn't like that. Did not like that shit. Because they just wanted Goku to win.
And nonetheless, Broly is stronger than Goku than all of them.
Yeah, Broly's raw power. That's what that's one of the reasons why Vegeta's dad kind of exiled him, right? Because he was so fucking strong.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
they
like,
feared him.
how y'all even going to say that Goku? My man said, hold on, let me go back. Goku beats everybody. Stop being silly. This man had to become one with Vegeta.
Not Harmer though. Not Harmer though.
This man had to become one with Vegeta just to even have a chance at fighting Broly.
Yeah. You know what also pisses me off? Broly became the good guy and became weak. I hate when they do that with characters. When you first see them, they're OP as fuck. And then when they become good guys, oh, like this
What do
regular
you mean
random
he's
ass
weak?
guy.
Was he getting his ass beat?
Yes. Broly and Kill are the only true Super Saiyans. You think so? No, I feel like I wouldn't say true Super Saiyans. They're naturally super. They didn't have to train to unlock Super Saiyan. I wouldn't
They're
say
just
true
born
Super Saiyan.
with the
Yeah,
green hair.
they're not born with it, but they can unlock it without like training. Goku and Vegeta and all those guys had to train to unlock that potential. Whereas with those guys, they didn't have to. Isn't Kale? No, never mind. But yeah. Oh, thank you guys for the follow.
Shout
Yo,
out.
shout out.
I
Whoever
think we
followed,
got.
thank you very much.
I think we just got 3 followers just now. I appreciate that. Thank y'all
That's
very
sick.
much. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, guys, we're here every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir. And tomorrow night, for anyone who likes Monster Hunter, we are doing Monster Hunter Mondays with the host Pinksy. So stay tuned.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you guys are into Monster Hunters, pull up tomorrow. The goal is to have an event every night on this channel. We're working up to it. We're taking our time. There's a lot of stuff that we got in the works. We'll let you guys know soon. If y'all want to learn more, join the Discord. See that segue? Exclamation mark KXI. Pull up in the Discord. Just pull up in the Discord. But we kind of got sidetracked, guys. Let's get back to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Last one, since we kind of like went over anyways. This is the last one. And it's Kratos versus Ashura from Ashura's Wrath.
How do you spell that?
Asura. Ashura fought a fucking planet. Let's just put that out there. Ashura fought a planet.
Yes, he did. I see that right now.
Ashura fought a planet.
How
He
did he
fought
beat
a
this
Kuma,
planet?
but punched that motherfucker
Honestly,
till it shredded 2 pieces.
I don't care. Kratos in 5. Okay. I don't care. Okay.
Just Murph in this Twitch chat now. Really? Welcome in.
Yeah,
And 2 says Ashura.
I mean, Kratos doesn't have a feat on that level.
Kratos, we're going to Google for this one. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. They're gonna
Kratos
say
and Asura
Who
are
wins?
greatly powerful, skilled demigods and great characters. Kratos trumped him in arsenal and intelligence, but unfortunately for him, that wasn't simply enough. As Asura is better in everything else. Not to mention
shit.
Bo was far stronger than Kratos and his enemies.
Bro, facts. Ashura went to the school of Chris Redfield rock punching martial arts. Big facts. Heartless, you wouldn't understand what happened with that. I don't think you understand the reference here. But in Resident Evil 5, Chris Redfield literally punched a fucking boulder, bro.
What the hell?
Yes. And this man is not a super soldier. Well, he looks like one. He's roided up for sure. But he's not technically a super soldier, not a superhuman at all.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone's comments on this Reddit post about this exact question says the same thing. This one person said, I can't see a world in which Asura doesn't obliterate Kratos with a single punch. God damn, why have I never heard of this game before?
Ashura's Wrath is a fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal game, dog.
I feel disappointed in myself.
I'm actually gonna play it on stream soon. And you know who's a secret boss in that game? Akuma. Akuma is a secret boss in Ashura's
No
Wrath.
way.
Yes, he is. It's a Capcom game at that. Yes, it is. I'm surprised we haven't seen. He should have been in Marvel vs. Capcom at some point. Why did we not get a freaking Evil Ryu 2? Yes, you're right, Tosh. Evil Ryu is also in Ashura's Wrath.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, how did we not get an Ashura in Marvel vs. Capcom?
Oh, there he is. I see him.
Yeah, let me show that off real quick. Who? Did you see Evil Ryu?
Yeah. I see. Wait, what? Wait, do you fight him like in? How is the fight? It looks like a Street Fighter battle.
It is technically a Street Fighter battle, bro.
I'm gonna watch this right now.
I'm putting it up on stream.
Wait, Ryu's in this shit too?
Bro, I just said it. He fought Ryu as well.
You said Evil Ryu. I didn't know it was Ryu.
Yeah.
Wait. Taj is saying Asura's in Street Fighter 4. Nah, y'all got me tripping.
Capcom was holding about it through Ashura's Wrath. Facts. Big facts, Taj. I agree.
Oh, nah. Oh, you fight him in both styles. Okay, that makes sense. That's really cool. That's really, 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 really cool, I have to say.
Bro, trust me, Heartless. You missed out on that game, dog.
This right here is a Fighter Files fun fact for sure.
Even the demon here, bro. Yo.
This is so sick.
Yo.
Dude, Cash, I said
Hmm?
earlier that you are a dweeb, but man,
What?
we are dweebs.
Yes, we are. Master of the Feast, Akuma. See? Damn, son.
Nah, no, bro. Ain't
Dweebs
no
rise up.
way. Ain't no way. He's a zoner.
Yep. Big facts, Josh. You're right. Oh, it's not done yet. You think it's over, but it's actually not.
Yo, honestly, N2 spitting.
What?
He said technically this mofo was Nakali,
Mm-hmm.
but he definitely gives off that vibe. Wait, you beat Akuma, and then Akuma gets a countdown, and then he. Oh my god, you got to fight him again.
Oh no, but watch what happens. You should. I'm not gonna share shit. Just watch what happens.
Man, yo, they got Akuma doing a focus. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
Oh
bro.
shit. Nah, bro, they wasn't playing
Yo.
when they made this shit.
Yo. Zenku Hadouken go crazy too. Damn. Yo.
So this man got me locked in right now.
Yo.
Are they on the moon?
Yeah. No sound. I know why. I think it's because I'm using a different browser chat. My bad. I'm using a different browser. That's why it's not coming up.
Ain't no way.
Yep. Satsui no Hado. That's why I told you what to watch. I wasn't gonna say shit. Damn, bro. And y'all think Kratos can fight this dude? Nah, stop it.
Kratos in
Stop it.
5. I don't care.
Man said Kratos in 5. I don't care.
Yeah.
Bro, the fact that they fighting on like the moon or something is enough for me to know that they're just on another level. What the hell you got?
I think he's gonna pull out the arms.
You notice how at the bottom left, every time the loading screen pops up, it says compiling shaders.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is the Asura's Wrath style now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of sick.
Damn. Yo, he's like gunning for him too. You know what this kind of remind me of too? The Naruto games.
Yeah. It also reminds me kind of like Final Fantasy the Cydia. I don't know if you ever heard of that game. It's like it's like an arena fighter Final Fantasy game. It was on PSP, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nah, just skip to the cutscene. Let's see where the cutscene goes.
Oh, that's one of them.
This man just punch. Oh my god.
Damn, bro.
Nah, this man said Kratos in 5. And after what I just seen, I don't think I could do that.
This is cute. I'm happy for y'all, but yeah.
Cyber connected then Naruto. No, not even.
Oh yeah, no.
Good Lord. Oh!
Wait, who got hit with the Raging Demon here? What?
Oh, he returned it. He returned the Raging Demon. That was crazy. He returned the Raging Demon. So you reverse the Raging Demon. Yo, Andre's gonna have to watch his dad get sudden facts. Pizzo, you've never played Ashura's Wrath?
I haven't played it, no.
Nah, you need to check it out. I think you could get it on Steam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Look it up.
Yeah? You looked it up?
It's ASHURA.
Yeah.
Ashura's
No
Wrath.
H. ASURA.
Asura's Wrath. Not seeing it on Steam at least. I see Asura Girls. I don't know what that is.
Damn.
Lewd Gym. It's getting
Bro,
real.
I don't know if I would play. I mean, I probably will play this, but at this point, I'd be down to watch somebody play this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, this is sick, bro.
All right, I'm gonna play it soon. I own it for Xbox. I have it on the Xbox. Straight anime. Yeah, facts. It's like an interactive cutscene.
I'm telling you, these games are interactive movies. That's what they are.
Yeah. This man is like gunning, bro.
This man would take down the whole Ultramite army. What is it? What is it? What are they called?
Viltrumites, yeah.
They would take down the whole Viltrumite army.
Quick time telltale.
Bro, Kratos is surviving this.
They split a planet in two, dog.
So you're telling me Kratos is definitely killing? No, Akuma is definitely killing Kratos.
That's what you're telling me for sure. Because look at Akuma, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Akuma doing crazy stuff.
You're fighting in the core of the freaking. What is going on right now?
This right here was not on my podcast bingo card.
Yo, bro.
Nah, this is crazy.
It's now a dogfight, guys. Guys, it's now a dogfight.
I feel like this is what Gundams is all about.
Oh yeah.
Is this the final boss?
Yeah, Akuma is basically, this is after the last boss. Dang. Is the cutscene coming up now? Yeah. Or it's gonna have crazy sumo where both coast facts. Bro. Yo, these guys are basically Super Saiyans. You realize that?
Pretty much. At this
These
point,
guys
I don't
just
even
fought
know.
in outer space. These guys
I
were
don't
just
know if
fighting in
Goku
outer
was
space.
fighting Akuma at this point. I did not know Akuma was this strong. 500 years
500
later,
Jesus.
imagine they still punching each other.
Oh my god. Bro, they fought to a standstill.
Did they really freeze there?
Bro, they fought to a standstill.
What? The fight starts 500 years later? Bro, just when I thought this couldn't get any more ridiculous.
The ridiculousness of this shit, bro. Yo, bro, the ridiculousness of that shit just now, bro. Yo, Pizzo's still not having it.
Nope. Oh, does Asura
Nah.
even have a son?
No.
I'm just naming off pointless shit.
I mean,
at this point.
secret. I feel like people are saying, I almost said Gohan. Ryu might be a secret son. That's what I heard.
I heard
That was the
Asura
rumor.
He ain't got no women, bro.
Not Ashura, Akuma. My bad.
I heard Akuma ain't got no women either.
Yeah, I heard Ryu is his secret son. Is that the first time you heard that, Harless?
I've heard some shit. I don't buy it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I've heard that before. Is what I'm saying.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it one bit.
Yeah, because he was an orphan and a bunch of other shit. Like, but my biggest surprise is, are you telling me that Akuma was fucking? That's my biggest surprise.
With teeth like that,
bro. Not only that, that man is obsessed with fighting, bro. No, but I thought Elena was his best friend or some shit. That and even that doesn't make sense. The Elena and Akuma friendship does not make sense to me at all.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So it says winner is Ashura for real. Unless Kratos gets some serious new forms of powers boosts, he simply can't match the universe destroying furious of Ashura's final form. Yeah, it's not happening. Kratos. Yeah. You're saying Kratos is fueled by rage, but it can only take him that far. Thus far. Pizzo ain't having it, chat. Pizzo ain't having it at all.
It's like I hear it, but I don't hear it at the same time, you know?
But yeah, but yeah, chat. That was pretty much it tonight. Tonight was actually fun, guys. We had some dope conversations tonight. Wouldn't you say? Fun fact: they gave Kage and Ashura a costume in SFO. Really? Look that up, Heartless.
I think I see it.
Oh shit, they did. That looks
Yes,
crazy.
They did. This shit looks sick.
That shit looks nuts. Extra arms and all. Yeah, I see it. That's nuts.
Wow.
That's fire. That's fire.
Fire. See, yo, Capcom, they might have released Street Fighter V on a bad note, but it seems like ever since then they've been doing everything in the right direction.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have been singing their praises. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, chat. That was pretty much it for tonight. By the way, I want to just take the time out to just say thank you for why did that? Am I saying that correctly? Why did he do that? I hope I'm saying that name correctly. And Andala, thank you guys for the follow. Appreciate y'all. And also thank you to the homie Taj for the raid, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that.
W Ray.
Mm-hmm.
W Ray.
All right, so guys, we're gonna send some love to someone else. Thank you guys again. Tonight has been phenomenal. This was Gamer Actual episode 55. Yo, we've been doing our thing. Who should we rate out to, Harless? You got anybody?
Yeah, Kinston's live.
Yeah, let's send some love to Kinston. Yeah,
Roger, I see you. Thank you for the follow.
Roger, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you as well.
And we got Reaper as well as N2 with the bits. I see you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Also, don't be afraid to follow us on our respective channels. When we're not live here, we're live on our personal channels. If y'all want to check our stuff out, I play a lot of like variety games, but we also play Street Fighter over here a lot. Heartless plays Street Fighter way more than I do, admittedly. But yeah, give us a follow. And Pizzo is also a variety streamer as well. Go check out the channels. But thank you guys again for watching.
Look what Roger said.
What did he say? To sum it up, Dante Riz's really Virgil gets butt blasted by oh my god, and Kratos gets his back blown out by
we could use you on the podcast, Roger. You have a wonderful way of saying things.
I'm saying. Pretty much. But all right, raid to let me see, Kingston.
Yeah, let's say Kingston a love.
Yeah, let's go over there.
Yeah, much love to everybody. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for everyone that stuck around from that raid. That means a lot. Taj, man, obviously you know the deal. Much love.
Bro. And if you guys were here before and you don't know who Taj is, please go give Taj a follow. Let's give
for sure. And Pizzo, please let everyone know where they can find you. Let them know what you're all about.
For sure.
Listen, man, like they said, I'm a variety streamer. I play anything from God of War to other things like Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, facts though.
You smell Ashura's blood on this thing. Anyway.
Show him that Ghost of Tsushima mask too while you're at it.
We also got the Ghost of Tsushima mask here as well. You feel
this
me?
Man has a legit man cave, dog.
It's fire. I've always given props to his spot. It looks really sick.
Yeah, it does.
Trying to figure out what I want to add next, man. I really don't know yet. I thought about adding maybe like
a ray gun
knife, but ray gun. Oh, I'd have to get like the they're told
the
like,
nerd is strong here.
Yes, like a replica ray gun.
That shit would be actually fire. I'm gonna have to do a search on that.
But what about that website that we found that had like $500 Captain America shields and all that?
I need to look it up
Full
again.
body suit, Iron Man full body suits.
No
Bro,
shot.
it was
What?
legit. The Captain
Yep.
America, I think it was like only 500 made, so you get one
10
with like a
seconds till
certificate.
raid. 10 seconds.
Oh,
till
okay.
raid.
Everything is Pizzo Place. Everything. Think of it. Everything. Pizzo Place. Love to have you. Love to be here.
PZO
Thank you for
Place.
inviting me. Don't say that, please. Okay. No, but yes, he's right. PZO is how you spell it. Pizzo Place. Thank you guys for having me again.
All right. We out of here.
Oh man.